What's up, everybody? Welcome to the final Game Over Greggy show. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer/seducer, Nick Scarpino.
I forgot how uncomfortable these chairs are.
And it must have sucked to be the first ever time, last time ever.
What is it?
Not the Kind of Funny World Champion. Isn't that right, Nick Scarpino?
First ever time, last time ever.
The first time, last time sucks to be not the world champion.
Well, it's your first time, last time. Like, this is the last Game Over Greggy show.
I'll tell you
You're
what,
no
man.
longer the Kind of Funny World Champion. I beat you for it.
When Randy, the natural couture, decided to hang up the belt.
Of course, we remember
and retire.
that well. Yeah. Are you retiring from Kind of Funny World Championship?
He must have felt great. But what I'm saying this, what a giant biatch, if you know what I'm talking about, because I'll never quit. I want that belt back. I want that belt back.
You heard it here first.
Me and Andrea and Jared may or may not have made a pact to let me give me the next.
I guarantee you that did not happen. Andrea would never work with you after everything you pulled today.
I was pretty mean to her.
Yeah, you were really mean.
I'm probably
to
gonna call her afterward and apologize because I do feel a little bad.
Did you do that in person yet?
I did, but I don't want her to feel
good. It was like she was walking out of the
I hugged her, but I didn't really hug her. I hugged scarves.
She was a lot of scarves. But obviously we want to have fun here. Yeah. But I feel like sometimes you and I, and to a degree, yeah, mostly you and me, we push the boundary. We like to take it to the limit. Take it to the limit one more time. But I forget that some people aren't used to our level of shenanigans.
Sure.
So I'm going to text her later. I'm going to text her right now.
Well, it's mainly when you called her, and I believed called her a total loser in her voicemail that might have crossed the line.
Well, I don't know what I said, but luckily I left a really good message on her voicemail.
That's
so she could listen
the
to
only sober person here. Don't know what I said. Don't know what I said, but tomorrow morning,
8 hours ago.
She'll know.
To my right, he is the Forbes 30 under 30.
No.
The pure one.
No.
You don't want the new intro?
Is Game Over
To my right, the pure one, Tim Gettys.
Yeah. Let Tim host. I asked Cool Greg. Right now it is, don't have my watch on, it is 9:40 p.m.
I so appreciate you looked at your wrist.
Is there anywhere we can get a Mexican Coke? And he said, what'd you say? Not that I know of.
Not that I know of. That's what he says. Yeah.
In a way only Cool Greg could say.
Because I thought Cool Greg
So here I am with 2 LaCroix and... because I got a shill. Here you go, baby. The fucking Nalgene thing. You can only get it at kindoffunny.com.
Not officially Nalgene. Not an official Nalgene product.
No, but it's just like, you know.
It's a giant water bottle of 33 ounces of
get in here real
IPA
quick. Get in here. Show the hat. Show the hat. Not an official dad hat, I guess. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay,
That's what they call
great.
it. That's the style.
No, you can get both of these together. As well as a keychain.
Kindoffunny.com
and a
shirt.
shirt. It's actually pretty cool.
If... for some reason, you've stumbled onto your podcast feed saying, oh my God, there's a Game Over Greggy show releasing on Saturday. Then I said, the final Game Over Greggy show, and you said, and you dropped your monocle, and your tractor spun out of control, and you did this weird Prince logo in the wheat field. I understand.
Prince.
Thank you very much. Let's bring you up to speed. We are recording live right now at the end. The final 2 hours of our 12-hour live stream on January 4th, Kind of Funny Day 2019, where we've announced a slew of new shows, new initiatives, new Patreon tiers, new employees. What's up, Barrett Courtney? Hi. That's right, Pear. We stole them. You'll never know about it. There's a million things going on, but yes, we are retiring the Game Over Greggy show. After, Kevin, how many episodes is it?
787.
263? 3? That sounds about right.
That sounds about right. Maybe
Barrett,
264.
Fucking earn your keep and find out how many episodes
this
show's
been. I
been.
think that the Coy Barlog episode was 262.
Okay.
Which would have been a great final episode, but we're like, you know what? We're going to ruin with these
That would have been kind of funny.
Nick wasn't there.
Corey's awesome, and has great hair.
So amazing.
I'm going to say this, though. I am disappointed with us that we couldn't time this out to be 269.
I know.
Go out on 269.
I know.
But you know what? Dumb jokes never die. We got another podcast.
266.
Let's cut this up into 3 parts for old time's sake. We'll do topics. We'll do 3 parts. Old time's sake.
2.3. Hey,
I'm also going to say this. Are we breaking this out for audio listeners, or is this just...
Of course, this is the final episode.
For anyone listening right now, we are sitting at... Well, you'll do it in a second.
We haven't gotten there, yeah.
But I will say this. When we got to the studio, I was like, oh, I love this new desk. But this actually looks good on this set. If we put a rug out here, it would look really good. We could put a kitchen background. It could be like the very, very first few episodes.
Hey, real talk.
Remember?
I'm just going to say it right now. I know
this could
we're
be
all over the place. We already talked about it. People know this. People know this.
Live your life.
Game Over Greggy show is done. We are starting a new show called The Kind of Funny Podcast. Episode 1 is going to be next week. Andy Cortez is going to be joining us at a table. it could be this table. And honestly, Nick, if I'm going to say, I love all the looks that we've created for every show that we showed today on Kind of Funny Day as we're recording this live, except for the Kind of Funny podcast. That is the one
we
show
can
that
bring
I'm
the table
like,
back. We can put a little rug out there and call it a. The only thing I will say is this: we have more space. But when we put more than 4 people at this table, even 4 people, it does become a little crowdy.
That's how we started,
That's the thing, though. Let's go for it.
That's how we started.
Hey, Nick, I'm challenging you. And I know I'm putting a lot on you right now, but like, I feel like what we showed today should not be what the Kind of Funny podcast looks like. I want to figure this out. I like this table. I like the look of this.
We can do the table. Oh God, where did he go?
We have never used
Kevin
this.
hiding in plain sight.
If you're an audio listener, you have no idea what I'm talking about. It's fine.
Now, you know what that was
Go
like?
watch the video
God
though, for
damn
2
it.
seconds, just because it's the final Game Over Greggy show, and it is the most. Hey, that's what Kevin is of him half trying to be hidden.
If you don't,
where it literally is him.
It's the equivalent to someone trying. It's the equivalent to someone trying to hide behind a fucking light pole. It's just not gonna happen. I can clearly see your ass and your stomach.
I guess the bottom third is all Kevin Coelho.
Dude, that's what I love so much about where we're at right now at this table. Not getting ahead of ourselves here. Greg is champ. Everything is right.
How do you feel?
But more than that is that I love the fact that this is Kind of Funny 4.0. It's been 4. This is our 4-year anniversary of doing this.
We have been paying our own paychecks. It's for 4 years,
and not just ours. For multiple years now, we've paid for other people's paychecks. And today, another person is being added to that list.
Not only another person,
2 people, including contractors.
Was my old boss, our
And
old
my
boss.
old
Now we own
boss's
friends.
And I'll be honest with you,
boss.
he's not here anymore. I hated working under him. Love working with him though.
It's the best, man.
He's
And-
here in the office. I call him Franny now. We're very on a first name basis. Before I used to just call him behind his back the asshole.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. And I was
So
like,
you did
I was
this
like,
into the
he's
mic.
not
You did
that
it away from
bad.
No, I'm so. Well, I wanted people to see my face.
Okay.
No,
That's
but
the
what I
moneymaker.
love so much is that we came from a place where we were in a spare bedroom and there was no room. And like, we say there's no room here. And like, for what we do, there isn't really. Like, this is very small of a space for us to be doing what we do. But
Do you remember this table in that corner?
that's what I'm saying is
Yeah.
we came from a
Yeah.
place
Back?
where we would have one corner of a wall with fake ass shitty college set pieces, like the same shit I had in college
Those would have
for
looked
video
awesome
production.
if we had an extra 17 feet of space and people
But we
couldn't see 'em.
didn't. And what we did have though was a camera where if Kevin had to go underneath, it was so close it couldn't even see him when he would do his little like
little
Kevin
dippity
dive.
do.
Because
That's it. Yeah. Josh McCougan knows.
I don't know if the OG motherfuckers
There
out
it
there
is.
remember Kevin was working for
Off
us
camera.
off camera
Before anyone knew who he looked
for
like.
Kinda Funny Live
6
one.
months.
Those were for 6 months, and he was like so worried he was going to get fired that he was like, "Don't say my name," and he wouldn't talk. And it was the heyday of.
Can we be
Kinda
real
Funny.
clear?
It was
Yes.
great.
Can we be real clear?
Yeah.
Kevin Coelho.
Yeah.
And Kevin, we can now talk about this openly because Fran actually works for us.
Yeah.
I was never afraid of being fired. He was afraid of the hype being lost. You know what I mean?
Sure.
He wanted us to be able to like have that moment for him because we know how to fuck to play this shit. Unlike Fran.
I thought you were just going to leave it at "we know how to fuck."
we know how to fuck.
Some of us do.
Especially
Speaking
Scott
of how
does.
to fuck, this is the Game Over Greggy show. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 3 best friends gather on this table. Each bring a random topic of conversation for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny, where you used to be able to get each and every episode in a very confusing fashion. But after this, the Game Over Greggy show is done, and we're starting the Kinda Funny podcast, and you can get it there 3 days before it goes live for everybody else, or watch us record it live. And of course, you can be part of the show. A million different things that are going on, but the whole point is go to patreon.com/kindafunny, where we have broken it out into very simple membership tiers where you know if you're getting it, if you're participating in it, or if you're getting all of the content Kinda Funny has to offer. That's right. If you are an audio listener who has no idea what I'm talking about, you can go there now. And for $25, you get everything we do, everything Kinda Funny Games does, all of it ad-free, all of it with the pre and post show that usually exists. We're not doing one now because we've done a 6-hour post show before this, maybe even more. I don't even know how much.
This is free
What
for
time is it?
everyone, yeah.
How long have we been live? Jared, what time is it?
Right now.
Jared, what time is it?
We've been live for 10 hours.
p.m. Pacific.
That's a long
I'm
time.
gonna say this. I've had so much caffeine tonight that this Red Bull is starting to taste like Parmesan cheese, and I kind of like it.
Dude, Parmesan cheese is the go.
Just fucking
no
go.
one talks about
Hey,
it.
I got pizza the other day, and guess what? I forgot they gave me the 2 little things of Parmesan cheese, which, by the way, is not nearly fucking enough for the 3 pieces of pizza that I ordered. But the guy was like, "I'm just all I can give you." I was like, "Don't make me fucking get aggro because I only eat carbs once a week." But it doesn't matter because at the end of the pizza, I forgot about him, and then I came back and I was like, "Should I do a shot of Parmesan cheese right now?"
Yes, you should. Yes, you should.
I
I've been there.
didn't do it.
You're
I
a
did
coward.
2 shots of
Coward.
Parmesan cheese.
Yes.
I did 2.
Growing
Yeah.
up, when you have no idea
much.
how any of this works, you're like, cholesterol, I don't know what that is. And they're like, yeah, you used to get the cup of like, not even, like, granted, I come from a cool city, a cup of freshly grated Parmesan cheese, and you'd have it there, then you're like, yeah, dunk. Just like Jared Petty, if I'm lying, I'm dying. Papa John's, butter, whatever the garlic sauce is, where you
dude,
get down, you
that's
go,
different.
dunk.
I mean, okay, no.
That's gross. I don't do
That's
that.
disgusting. I couldn't
True
do that.
or false? Josh McCouga grew up on a street where there was a kid named Parmesan, and everyone used to make fun of him because he tasted like Parmesan cheese.
False. That's a hard false on that one.
That's Josh
that is false.
McCouga.
That's
on
Josh
the
I thought I
show.
could get you guys. I thought I could get you guys.
No.
I lost, but it's
Dude,
not.
that's
It's cool.
ridiculous. I know that this is like a tangent that isn't really going to go anywhere, but that's
Oh
what
yeah, this is final Game Over Greggy show. Is
Game Over
definitely
Greggy
gonna be on
show
the
is.
rails. I'd like to
Exactly.
talk about fucking
Let's
toaster
keep
ovens.
to the time.
I'm just going to say it, and I feel like we might have talked about this before because we've done 266 episodes.
You
of
say
this
Disney
show.
princesses.
Disney princess.
If this is
fuck
like,
list.
if this
Yo,
is like
excluding
signed
You know
Moana.
how many new ones there's been? No.
Yeah, but we can't do the underage ones.
Jesus Christ, Nick.
Nick.
Yeah, no
It's
shit,
gross.
we can.
It's gross.
20.
It's 28, 19.
Save it because I want to talk about that eventually.
We're looking at pizzas, right? We're looking at pasta. We're looking at whatever you can order
Calzone. You got
at
calzone in this?
Olive Garden, right?
Oh, the garden.
And they're
olive.
like, "Oh, do you want more cheese?" I'm like, "No, I'm good." I hate when they ask for the more cheese option.
Oh, yeah,
and
more
I feel like
cheese.
I might be alone on this, but it's just like
On pasta
What-
and pizza?
and anything. Yeah. I'm like, they walk up, would you like the cheese? I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yes, of course I do.
I'm good.
You're
Why
talking
no?
about
You
already-
Parmesan cheese?
Yeah. No, I'm just letting everyone
Thanks,
know.
Josh McCoy.
Hey, this is where I'm at. This is the Game Over Greggy show, okay?
Safe place. Jared, are we in a safe place?
We're in a safe place.
Thanks, Jared.
It's 2019. Nah, just say fucking no to that shit.
No way.
They've made it
I'll
right.
tell you
They're
what.
chefs. They're artisans.
There are no hotter words in the French/English language than when my wife says to me while I'm cooking for her, "Fuck me up with cheese." And I'm like, I will, babe.
That is
I will.
disgustingly hot.
Well, exactly, right? Where I have like the block of parm and I'm like, they say for a quarter cup. And she's like, fuck me up with cheese. And I'm like, and
How does
I
she
look her in
say
the
it,
eyes.
though? That's not how she
Hey,
says
let's
it.
fuck me up with cheese.
She doesn't. No. You know how Jen says it, though.
Mombo. And then she does this eyebrow thing.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, fuck me up with cheese.
No, that's weird.
Jared, go get my wife and we'll
You're
ask her
adding too
how to
many
say it.
layers or you're too American. There's
Well,
a
I'm
sweet
very
in
American.
between.
I'll never be ashamed of my heritage, unlike you, Tim.
You just called a Olive Garden chef an artisan, and it made me laugh really hard. And then
you.
you said, "Fuck me with the cheese," and I snorted Jack Daniels out of my nose into the cup. It's
We
not
wouldn't
actually
serve you
Daniels,
Jack
it's
Daniels. That's bullet
It's
bourbon. Yeah,
Listen,
exactly.
I like Jack Daniels, and I'm sorry. I think
I'm not against Jack Daniels. Mombo.
Fuck him up with cheese in front of me.
I
so
need you to
Daddy can
take
have
the
something to think
Crooner's
about
mic there.
later.
He does have it turned backwards. When you say, hey, fuck me up with cheese, how do you say it?
What? Why? What?
Say it.
Doesn't matter.
Say
Say
it
it.
how
Jen,
you
I've been married for 12
normally
years.
say it.
Yeah,
Don't.
but I can't do that now that you've planted the
But do the
idea.
eyebrows. Do the
Tell me.
eyebrows.
no, but no.
I don't
You
even
just planted it.
recall one situation in which I would have used my eyebrows asking for cheese. Is that related to
Can I do
Parmesan?
it? Can
Is
I
that
do it?
what's
Can I do
happening?
it? Jen, I'm gonna need your hat and your glasses real quick, please. May I please have your hat and glasses and your
Give him the hat and glasses.
and I'm
babe.
gonna also need your sweater. I'm gonna sweat it a little bit, but I'll pay for it.
You're going to stretch out the sweater. The
it's
sweater
fine.
is a
It's
bridge
fine.
too far.
It's fine.
No, babe, don't give him the sweater.
Give me
He's
the
going to
sweater.
stretch it out.
I
He's
need the
got
sweater.
those muscles
A little
now.
bit of sweater, a lot of
Throw it
cheese.
over his shoulders like a grandmother.
Shit, you are blind. I can't see anything. Where?
God. Look at him right now, right?
Yo, he looks so
What's going on,
Montreal.
What's going on, young Woody Allen?
Oh wow. This smells
Creepy Woody
like
Allen.
soft home. You know what I mean? It
Yeah,
smells
oh,
like
I know,
home.
I know, yeah.
Smell this
Lowercase
thing.
home.
That's what you smell
No,
when you get
she's my wife. I know what she smells like.
Tim, you're missing out, man. This is something. Bonjour. Fuck me up with some cheese. Is
that how you
close?
sound, babe?
Let me try it again.
say it, man.
I don't.
Bonjour.
I can't say it.
Bonjour.
Mon
Like-
bon. Fuck me up with some queso. How do you say cheese in
Jesus
French?
Christ.
Fromage.
Fromage!
Voulez-vous de fromage in my boo boo
Oh,
boo?
my God.
In my boo boo fromage.
In my boo-boo fromage.
Make
You
a
have great
band-
glasses.
Thanks, man.
You should wear glasses.
Thanks. How was that? Scale of 1 to 10. Should I try harder or
Terrible.
stop
That was
doing
awful.
this bit?
That was
hey.
awful.
I'm gonna be real, and everyone in the comments is gonna agree with me. Better than yours.
Wow.
Yeah,
Jen.
that
You are
sounded
blind.
more like Jen than yours until you added the voo or whatever. You said.
Voulez-vous coucher avec me
See,
me
that's
queso?
where
C'est
he
soir.
goes. That gets
Voulez
weird.
ce soir
Do you
queso?
want to give back the rest of her clothes?
I'd like
She
to.
took
It's very hot.
glasses.
It's very hot. I'm gonna give this back to you. Let me smell. One more time. It smells like, you know what it smells like?
That's
Really
so
good soap.
creepy, Nick.
Real quick
Like
though,
really expensive soap.
Scarpino with glasses looks like a Seinfeld character, like season 4, Jake Jarmel,
Like we'd fight over a parking spot.
Yes.
right?
Like we'd fight over a parking spot or over soup.
You just did the eyebrows. Literally, where I was like, "Fuck me up with some cheese," and you do that
I
thing.
just smelled Nick on my thing.
So smell it again, and then talk to the microphone and say, "Fuck me up with some cheese."
You can say it to me if it makes you feel better.
Why? It's like it's not bringing any value to anyone. They don't see my eyebrows.
Well, we're getting
get the
we're
fuck
three
on
of us
camera.
here.
I love
Value.
you so much.
Fuck me up with cheese.
That's how she says it.
Okay.
Suck it.
Okay. Okay.
I may have
I
just
take
climaxed.
back everything I said.
That was hot.
Greg Miller said it exactly
He nailed
like
it.
she
He nailed
says it.
I love you so much, babe.
Does she ever say-
Eyebrows and all. Accessories.
Is there anything
no.
else she says fuck me up with? Like fuck me up with some like churrascaria or fuck me up with some with a charcuterie plate?
Like a plug.
Nothing about kombucha. The booch is sexy. We can't do that.
She often says, "Look at this bitch."
Look at this. That's only since we went to that football game with.
Look
the
at all
Gettys.
my shit.
Have you heard the story yet? Did you
no,
see?
I
You
wanna
weren't
hear the
here for
story.
New Year's. You might, but you probably saw the gifs that John Drake and Andrew were sharing
Yeah,
with my
yeah,
wife.
that was fun.
Look at this bitch.
You guys look
and it
great.
was like this or whatever. That is an origin story that we went to the 49ers game with John, Andrea,
Yeah.
and Andrea's mom.
Fun friends.
And it was the first time Jen had met Andrea's mom, or not the
No,
first time,
no.
but the first time we'd hung out with them in a more
Do you want me to
private
hold-
situation, not a party. And so we literally went to lunch. It was great. We walked out, and I forget what the bet was or argument was, but I had said it was, red was blue, and Jen's like, no, red's red. And then we're on the street corner, and red turned out to be red. And Jen's like, told you. I'm like, you're right. And she goes, look at this bitch.
Yeah.
In front of these parents and John and Andrea who had no reference for anything that's going
I'm
on.
gonna tell you one thing right now. You say it with conviction, everyone fucking gets it. They might not understand it, but
got
they
it.
fucking get
Oh,
it.
they understood. They
got
they
it.
You
were-
say that in
yeah.
front of Mama
Oh, yeah.
Scarpino, she's gonna be like, and she's gonna pick
You're the
something
bitch.
up and
You're
just
the
drop
bitch.
it for you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you still are confused, which I understand, we're drunk and rambling and having a great time. Again, yes, the Game Over Greggy show is going away. Why, you may ask? Because we are moving on to Kinda Funny 4.0 in 2019. What does that mean? Well, there's a slew of changes over at patreon.com/kindafunny. But most importantly for you is the fact that the Game Over Greggy show does not represent what Kinda Funny is anymore. Of course, you're all very well aware that this channel started as youtube.com/GameOverGreggy, which made sense at the time when it was just me trying to make YouTube videos. Then, when we started expanding, we thought, well, it's a Game Over Greggy channel. Might as well call the Game Over Greggy show the Game Over Greggy show. That's continued on and on and on. But as we listen to feedback from you, as we've grown as creators ourselves, it just doesn't make sense. You talked about it earlier today, and it was very much, Nick, the same way it was when you used to say, hey, I do a YouTube channel. What's your YouTube channel? Game Over Greggy. Are you
What's that
Greg?
mean? Yeah.
Well, so,
Are you
sorry.
Greg?
So to give a little more context, Nick now doing stand-up comedy with a whole different group than what we're used to.
Oh, sure.
For the last couple of years, been used to decade, been used to games media, all this stuff. Last couple of years, been used to YouTube, whatever they get, all this stuff. Nick now in a whole new world with stand-up comedy. When you're out with your stand-up comedy friends,
I want to sing it so bad.
you what?
A whole new world.
Thank you.
of
Don't you
stand-up
dare close your
comedy.
eyes.
Episode 1 of the
Sorry.
Game Over Greggy show. Nick,
Don't listen
Yeah.
to it.
you're talking about.
Well, so for me, it makes sense to have. I mean, like for me, the Game Over Greggy show was always sort of like the root podcast of what we do here, right? It's always like no matter what we do, it always felt like coming home when you get to sit around with you guys and just chit chat
Yeah.
and shoot the shit. And so it always kind of made more sense for me in my brain. Like I always called it the Kinda Funny podcast because that to me is always what it was. It was about our lives. It's going to continue to be about that. And so it just makes sense for when I describe it to people. Our company's called Kinda Funny. People go, "What's your podcast called?" I want to say the Kinda Funny podcast. And that makes sense. Also, very catchy. Very catchy. But when I'd say Game Over Greggy show, people would go like this. What's a who's what's it? And I'm like, well, you see, my friend, 1.35 million Instagram Twitter followers, and also current Kinda Funny world champion for now.
It's on the floor.
Speaking
Don't
of
worry,
belt.
I want it.
Goes
It's
by
back
Game
where
Over
it
Greggy
is.
because his name is Greg Miller, and there's about 4 billion Greg Millers on the planet, and they
sure.
were faster to Twitter than he is. It's
Okay,
named after him.
that's rude.
So now it just makes more sense. Like I want to be able to drive people toward this channel without there being any other layers of confusion to stopping people from getting our awesome content, and that's where we're at. Now, do I think that? Like, here's the real question: is this going to be a decidedly different podcast than the Game Over Greggy show? No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah,
Same vibe, same fun, same.
So the
it's same
idea is
thing.
that yes, the way I talk about it is in the same way that YouTube.com/GameOverGreggy evolved into Kind of Funny.
Yeah.
The Game Over Greggy show is evolving into the Kind of Funny podcast, which what we talked about before, right, is it's Tim, it's me, it's you, Nick, and it's Andy Cortez. We're bringing him on to be the fourth chair permanently. But what that means is when I'm gone, you're gone, anybody's gone, rather than it boil down to one or two people, we'll bring in Joey, we'll bring in Jared, we'll bring in anybody else who is Kind of Funny.
Exactly. It's like, I guess the real talk of it is the focus isn't we're bringing in guests. And I feel
correct.
like that's where it comes down to is the biggest changes of what we're doing with 4.0 are getting rid of the morning show, getting rid of GameOverGreggy, which when you really boil down are two shows that were the pillars of what Kind of Funny were when we first started.
Yeah.
Especially when we left IGN. And now looking at it, it's like, all right, they were pillars, but where we're at now, we've grown from that. And where we're at with the team that we have and the people that we have access to, it's very different. So I feel like what we're doing is acting where we are optimized to act best and only do what the people are actually looking for the most.
Yeah,
right?
see, for me, and to back up that point, sorry, correct me if I'm wrong, but what I like about what we're doing right now is we're focusing.
Yep.
The morning show was 15 different shows or 5 different shows. We've torn those out now to those 5 different shows. And selfishly, I like that because when I listen to a podcast, I get addicted to the vibe of the podcast. Right. And it's not to say we don't love Josh McCouga because he's sitting there. I love him to death. He's a different show than what we're doing right now. And when I listen to podcasts, I like to have the comfort of knowing I'm getting the same product over and over and over again, right? An interview show is a different show. We do want to do interviews. We talked about that. How many times have we talked about we have cool friends? Now we can do it because we hit the milestone. That's going to be the more interview style product.
Now, before we get too far into all this, you just brought it up. We have Cool Friends, a show that we've wanted to launch.
Dope name, man.
It really is. And we've had it since 2015. Like, that is one of the original shows we wanted to do leaving IGN. And well, I'll never forget this. I will never fucking forget this. We are still at IGN in a conference room that we should not have been talking about Kind of Funny, but we were.
Fran's here now, doesn't matter.
I know. Yeah, exactly. Our boss fucking quit too, so it's fine.
Bring on Sam Claiborne. I'm not afraid of you.
we're in this room.
Petty like that joke.
and we were talking about like, okay, cool. What's our ideal lineup? And what's funny to me is our ideal lineup looks most similar to what we're about to debut next week than it has to anything else we've ever done. Like, we talked about an entertainment podcast with us. Kevin was involved, but now he is. You know what I mean? It's like when we look at a lot of the other shows that we were talking about doing and that we've evolved into what Kind of Funny Games Daily is now, we couldn't even thought of back then. But like, we saw the seed of that then. But I love that We Have Cool Friends was always a through line. What you guys built with Up at Noon, like having that be a thing with Greg Miller is one of, if not the, actually it is the, if not one of, I'll say it that way, best interviewers I've ever met in my entire life or ever known to exist.
He's a man that offended Gary Whitta by touching his knee, and now Gary's one of our best friends.
And now Gary is my lapdog.
Yeah.
And there you go.
You know what I mean?
That's how it fucking works.
I said something nice. You just like fucking up champion. Okay.
Bring it on, Whitta. You'll never see this.
We've always known an interview show was in our wheelhouse, something we've wanted to do. And because of all the best friends out there over the last couple of years, believing what we do, believing what we've done, believing what we're going to do.
That's
we're now about to make
right?
that show happen on a level that we've never been able to accomplish. Kevin, where are we at right now?
And so that's what I wanted to say again. Kevin, go ahead and bring it up for the visual listeners. For audio listeners, if you're just paying attention, or if you're one of the thousands of people watching us live right now, I'm sure you already know this rigmarole, but I have to tell you. The idea again is that patreon.com/kindoffunny, patreon.com/kindoffunnygames for the month of January are turned into fundraising pledge drives. We have a big old thermometer up there that Josh McCouga uses his dick on Instagram.
So you can
I didn't do that on purpose. I was forced into doing that, not knowing what I was
Just
doing.
letting you know how it looks. Just letting you know how it looks on Nick's
bad, I'm
Instagram.
sorry.
He's not verified either. No big deal. The idea,
Are
however,
you
is that
McCouga? Are you verified?
don't be verified.
On Instagram?
Are you verified on Instagram?
No, just Twitter.
Good. I was gonna beat you over the head with this. fucking
Just
thing.
Twitter. Hey, it's a big deal.
Anyways, what I'm trying to say though is that this is all fundraising for January. If you're listening to this later as an audio listener, the message we've been driving home is simple, right? Kind of Funny is amazing. It's every dream we've ever wanted come true. We love it. We're so happy to come to work every day. Like we said, we've hired Barrett Courtney. We've hired Fran to come on the Gamescast in a part-time capacity. Barrett quit his job and now works here full-time. We want to make more shows, and so we're trying to raise $50,000 this month, January, as we record this. Right now, what are we at, Kevin? We're a little bit north of 40. Oh, it's going up right now. Holy shit, we're at $42.5 thousand.
Vancouver, here we come.
So basically what that means, if you're an audio listener, yeah, a round of applause to everybody. Thank you so much for your support if you're live. That means so far that we're trying to fund a whole bunch of different 6 months of content, the first 6 months of the year. Again, Kind of Funny's doing amazing. Everything's awesome. We hired Barrett, we're happy. But we want to grow and we want to ensure Kind of Funny's future. We want to make sure that we can hire the right people. We want to make sure we move to the right studio space. So we're asking you in January if you've ever enjoyed any of the content we've ever fucking made to come to Patreon and support us. You might say, I already support you on Patreon. What we're offering is on January, right? This thermometer that if you increase your pledge, if you give us a new pledge, it all counts towards this. So far, people have raised their Patreon pledge or given us new Patreon pledge is enough to make sure that there is a new season of Love and Sex Stuff, that we do Game of Thrones in review for Kind of Funny, that we do a new thing of nicknames, that there's another 12-hour stream at the end of January, that we do a San Francisco meet and greet, that there is a Kind of Funny game showcase at E3 2019, fuck you, Greg Miller talking, that we upload our first time ever doing stand-up comedy, that there's an Arizona meet and greet in January, that the PlayStation VR show returns in April, that there's a new show called We Have Cool Friends that debuts in May, that the Cooking with Greggy returns in March, that there is a Kansas City meet and greet in March, that Kind of Funny Prom, the video gets uploaded in June, that Oration returns in April with apparently a song, if she'll agree, from Jackie Hollywood, plus a new show, Love, Sex, and Stuff in June, plus a Vancouver meet and greet in May, plus Party Mode IRL in June. That is insane, guys.
Jackie Hollywood! Yo, real fucking talk. I gotta say, I know we're being sentimental. I know we're talking about like our history and like our future and all this stuff. And we just pulled up this. And Kevin, please bring it up again. Can we? This is probably the best way to show it. Looking at this, real talk. We've worked so hard the last 4 years of our lives, 5 years, 10, our entire lives. But really, these last couple months, we've known this was coming. And that's why we were like, we're going to do the Kind of Funny game showcase. We're going to do all of this other stuff that we're like, hey, we need to prove to people what we've been doing. We're going to kill it on Kind of Funny Games Day. We're going to kill it on Party Mode. We're going to kill it on the morning show. Bringing Nick up, showing you guys so many people that have any criticism right now over what we're doing with the morning show. Just give it a week. Trust me. Give it 2 weeks. You'll see. This is going to be Nick at his best. It's going to be Nick focusing on one show a week to be the most Nick possible. Yeah. And all of that. Like, we understand your criticism. We understand what. Oh, sure. And criticism is probably not even. Your feedback is a better word to use here. Looking at all this, when we came into this today, I told you guys this off camera, but this was the first time that I was like, I don't know where we're going to hit on this thermometer on day one. Like, I have no idea. At the end of January, we're going to be. Most of the other times when I come up with these stupid plans, I'm like, we got this.
We're going to crush this.
We're going to crush this. We'll figure it out. We'll have to come up with stretch goals. This is the first time I'm looking at this, and I'm like, man, I almost hope we don't hit 50K because I'm like, I don't know what the fuck we can possibly do past that.
We're going to have to put it on the tail end of the year. That's for sure. Totally. We're out of weekends.
That's real. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I want to say that right now. And I believe it, once we hit 50K, because we're going to have a real talk about what are we doing past that. How are we going to incentivize people? Because
remember, at $69,000, Cool Greg is going to look into changing his name to Cool Greg.
Legally changing his name to Cool Greg.
Cheers, buddy. I'm going to say this.
We're going to hit these dates. We put dates on these for a fucking reason.
We won't miss these.
We're going to hit them.
I'm going to say this. I have a new idea for a show we could do on the tail end of the year. An hour and a half long workout special with Kevin Coelho called Sweat into the 90s. Just putting that out there.
What does that mean?
He's just going to sweat on camera for 90 minutes and we're all going to throw stuff at him.
Doing that right now.
Is that a one-off?
Yeah. It's a legitimate jazzercise workout video where Kevin works you out for 90 minutes.
Kevin, are you
for
down?
The record, no, stop. Before you say anything, Kevin, before you say everything, what I'd love to see more than anything in that vein, we bring up DDP. Diamond Dallas Page. From DDP Yoga, and he does it with me, Jared, and Kevin.
I'm in.
I'm in too. Kevin, are you in?
Can we interview him on We Have Cool Friends?
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay,
that's a great way.
Yeah, that's a great way to make it all work. For that, we'll do the thing at yoga afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tired fucking thing for me, ladies and gentlemen, to tell you how much you've changed our lives and how much you mean to us, and that the fact that for the 4 years ago, you believed in us and to this level to support us year after year, month after month, week after week, show after show, that we get to this point where it is I'm right there with Tim. I remember being home with Jen the last 2 nights, explaining the tiers and what we're doing and how this works, and just being like, I don't know, man. I could see it going either way, where it's going to be, no, I already give you a lot of money, and I can't give you more. I don't want to give you more. I want to, this, and I wish you guys well, but I don't know. Or it's going to be that, yeah, we have runaway. We've had such a fucking day. This stream isn't even fucking over, and we're within, what is it, $4,000 of where we're supposed to.
3 sentences ago for you, I had to look at, I looked at Nick. We didn't make eye contact, but I saw Nick doing the thing where he looks away, and I was like, I need to look away too. Because if we looked at him, both of us would.
Oh, you got the waterworks going.
Yeah, that was it.
Here's the most indicative thing about us, right? We started the show, and Greg's like, hey, let's not do any shenanigans at the beginning. Let's just get a little sincerity out because you wanted to give that message that you just gave. And of course, that's 29 minutes into the show because the first 28 and a half minutes were shenanigans. And that's what I'm saying. For anyone who has any worry, if you're out there worrying that things are going to change massively, they're just going to get better. It's the same vibe, but more of it.
This is the thing I was talking to you, with all due respect, I don't mean to blow you up on real life, Mark Freeman today on DM after we announced everything. And he was going back and forth. He's like, well, I'm like, what did you think? He's like, well, you killed my 2 favorite shows, Morning Show and GOG. And I'm like, you're going to like it. And he's like, no, I know I'm going to like it. It's not that's sounding more negative. I want you to know that, again, it'll be 12 years for me in March 1st. It'll be 12 years in this industry. I've never had a more fulfilling day than the last day we just had, which was Gamescast in the morning with you, Tim, me, Fran, and Jared, followed up by Jared, Josh, and me doing
that was so fun.
Yeah,
Josh Makuga.
Doing debatable, followed up by us all planning this.
Yeah.
Because
and us being not just
kind of funny.
us.
Oh no, everybody, Barrett and everybody else in the room. But what I mean is the fact that people who are like, oh my God, I don't like the morning show is going away. I don't like this is changing. If you like how, right now, for the first time ever, I feel there's a valve at Kind of Funny for me to perform. And that sounds weird, right? Me doing Games Daily is me being serious and delivering. Me doing GameOverGreggy Show, which again is a shitty name for this show because it's not the GameOverGreggy Show. It is everybody. Is me leading conversation and being a part of it. Me doing Debatable, and the way we've pitched Debatable is me being the bad guy. I'm here to win this game through all, and I get
WWE?
I get to perform it, and it's like League of Heels, and this is, and like doing that, my mind was, and then doing Gamescast with you guys, right? Like I can't tell you, and I understand this is a confusing statement, I'm sure, for people who don't make podcasts or do as many podcasts as we do. There's such a difference of, hey, I'm hosting the GameOverGreggy Show versus, hey, I'm a panelist on Gamescast. Or I'm a panelist on GameScoop, or I host Beyond. And so I was talking to Fran outside of like, no, you don't understand, like, Gamescast has never been bad. I've never done a Gamescast where I'm like, oh my God, we fucking sucked. But like us, you, me, you, Tim, me, Fran, and Jared doing that last one, that was fucking magic. That goes live tomorrow if you're watching live on Patreon. It'll go live for everybody for free on Monday. I'm not trying to fucking get you to subscribe. That show is like, oh my God.
There was debate.
I can't
we
fucking wait for this
disagreed. We
future.
had fought. We had fun. We had like there was so much there. And dude, I agree with you so much, man. Like the 3 of us at this table right now, like have been sitting at a table for now 4+ years. Like it's 4 years sitting at a table, quote unquote, professionally as our careers, but like longer than that for just us together. And like it is crazy how the different dynamics between all of us have grown. And like looking at today of the things that we funded, like we're bringing back nicknames.
Yeah, we are.
Me and you. We're bringing back Oreo Oration, and we're going to make that so that it is you reviewing the Oreos.
That is a current Kind of Funny show.
That we made.
That is not, and I'm not trying to knock old Oration, but old Oration, what, like, keep in mind, again, if you're a new person, this whole thing starts with me and VidCon being like, I want to make a show about chicken wings. I don't know how to edit a show about chicken wings. I'm going to make a show that shows that aren't about chicken wings, which meant, hey, I'm going to interview Colin because that's easy. Hey, I'm going to do Oreos because I know there's way too many fucking Oreos. And so Oreoration is janky because I don't know what I'm doing. And I do want Oreoration when it comes back now to be very different with a fucking Josh Makuga with a hot song from Jackie Hollywood.
Got my cookies on that milk.
I put my cookies in the milk.
Cookies on that milk.
Put the
So
cookies in the milk.
Got that cookies in
You
that
get-
milk.
you're getting the
going
spirit of it.
Straight Keebler.
No, that's not.
Cookies
That's
on that
not.
milk.
She already
You're
talks
getting-
about
It's
Keebler.
close.
You got
It
real
was
close,
quite
and you
around me like
smell
some
like John
Keebler.
Where
Yeah,
I
Varvatos
was
cologne.
going
I
with
love
this
it.
though is back in the day, everybody thought that Brian Altano was writing the like side stories
Yeah.
for Oration. I actually want now.
Oh, wow.
It was you though writing them. You were making funny.
That's the first time that's ever been confirmed.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh my
I
God.
mean, Oration
man.
will come back in a different frame.
Kevin's
It's-
dumb cat was in a bag. You just let it out.
No,
What
no,
I
no.
want it to be.
Let me say it real quick, just because we've never
for it.
given that credit. Is yes, Oration. Everybody's always like, who writes the sidebar? Is it Colin? Is it Brian? So many people leaned into Brian on some AMA. I just leaned into it and said brap or whatever, and everybody believed it. It was always me insulting myself. Because who can insult me worse than myself? But then it also was that
believe I could.
I 1,000. You know, you're a coward. 1,000%. I wrote those insults as what would Brian say? It was a Brian
Yeah.
voice. Yeah.
But now,
get-
no. You met someone that could insult you better, and it's Nick Scarpino, and I can't wait to fucking
on,
see
Daddy.
what this looks like.
Daddy has evolved.
That should be a fun one of like we don't know what it looks like, but if I'm doing the Oreo thing and he's
I mean, you know,
on
we
a
could
mic at
do.
the side.
Yeah.
We could do a guest column as well. So it could be like, are we still doing text? Because we could reach out to friends and have the picture come up and be like, Troy
Today
Baker
is Troy
said,
Baker?
you're an asshole,
That's
whatever,
great.
and
That's
just have
great.
fun with it.
That's really good.
That way I
I
don't have to
like
do
it a
all
lot.
that work.
Like where you're at.
Nick
like where your head's
Scarpino.
at. That's
I mean,
how-
we
You
got a
had
lot of
5
work.
shows a week. Now you have what? Fucking half a show?
I mean, this is the thing.
I'm fucking-
I still want to put my weight in when it comes to Internet Explorer. I'm very excited about
Dude,
that.
no. Real talk. I want you to put 5 days of work of the morning show into
Into
one
Kinda Funny
KFAN.
AF.
Oh, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that.
I know.
But Daddy's on a higher production level now. Daddy's channeling the Midnight Oil.
Yes, he is.
So we're gonna have to figure out. Real talk. I'm worried about Andy because he has never seen Nick Scarpino work
'Cause
out
he's
full
not in
Nick
the room?
Scarpino event.
Is that
He
why?
hasn't seen the Nick Scarpino. It's 2:00 in the morning, and Andy's like, I just gotta go, and I give him the look of like, you want to be a superstar or you want to be a fucking nobody.
Real quick, you and
stay.
me are the first people out of this office every day. I've noticed.
Not now. I was here till midnight the other night.
Damn it.
Dude, Nick Scarpino.
He gave me
man.
right home the other night.
You know why? Because I was
Thought
working on
had
his
him dead,
fucking
right?
nasty graphics.
All the fucking graphics for the show. Hey, real talk. I know that we're very self-congratulatory with a lot of
We
stuff.
do.
I don't think we shout out Nick enough for his level of work with motion graphics.
I appreciate that, guys.
All of the intros for all of the shows.
Insane.
And again, if you are
Nate.
an audio listener and don't understand what we're saying, next week, or whenever you listen to this, but next week when I was recording it, 5 new shows launch Monday through Friday, all with brand new graphics, all with, and that's not including
Kinda Funny
Games
Podcast.
Cast getting things added, the
Yeah.
Kind of Funny podcast
So much
being
stuff.
added. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it was-
real
it was
talk,
a little
on
bit.
Kind of Funny podcast. I want to do on the first episode. I want to write out an actual like thank you and credit list for people that made music and people that did the motion graphics and all. Because there was a lot of people that put a lot of work into this. But Nick, dude, your motion graphics are fucking unreal.
I had a good time. You know, you guys, one of the things that I really like doing here, obviously, is when applicable, up in the look of stuff that we do. You know, like you told me, you know, when we talked about shooting the original shows that we were doing, Oration and whatnot, I like testing myself and going, let's bring a second camera and let's figure out how we can do this stuff. So, you know, I'm a very visual person. And I like, you know, I'm sure if you've watched this podcast, you've seen me annoyingly looking down a lot.
If
And
you,
it's
my
because-
favorite thing is if you watch the new 7-minute teaser for everything we're
Right.
doing. When we get to the
All
Kind
the
of Funny
shots
podcast,
are me, Greg, and Andy faking conversations.
We're having real conversations.
Yeah, but like faking a conversation for camera and Nick just looking at the confidence monitor like,
But it's one of those things, and this is why, right? Because obviously, two things. One, bring it back.
2 things, baby.
2 things. One,
love and sex stuff. Hold on, Nick. Love and sex stuff and love, sex, and stuff have to happen. Our new advice show that has nothing to do with love or sex
gonna be
coming
great.
soon. June.
But here's the thing: 2 things. One, I was probably not aware that we were filming, and if I was, I probably wasn't paying attention. And 2, it's really, we work at such a fast clip that it's really the only time I get a chance to look at lighting, because we don't really, like, Debatable was awesome because we filmed it ahead of time, and I was able to sit in the room and watch it and make notes of stuff. For instance, Kevin, we probably should put the little doohickey back on a couple of those chairs so that we don't have to put people so short toward the ground. It's one of the things that, you know, I look at the stuff visually and I always see stuff that's room for improvement.
Yeah.
Obviously, Andrew Renee, very poignant feedback. Yes, we will steam the curtains if I remember to have her bring
Yo,
that.
real talk. Yeah. Debatable, I would say, is the most debatable and Kind of Funny podcast are the 2 that I'm like, that doesn't look how I want it to look.
That's 'cause you
And
have
that
the
might be a
curtains right.
personal thing.
It will.
Yeah, I know it's going to.
When the curtains
it's going
come in.
to. But what we have right now, those are like, hey, it's what we had right now because we had a lot to do.
Wait,
And-
David will come out? Yeah.
again, we're doing that thing where we're airing our grievances in public, which will then become the real grievances of the audience because they know what we're saying.
Yep.
The content of Debatable. Again, you know, this is the trust we have between the three of us, right? Where it's like, I know you can run off the graphics.
I think it's great. Tim's that was mine. I think it looks awesome.
No, I don't even mean the looks.
The goal was cheesy game show, and I think we nailed it.
Well, I mean, for me as the content person, as the producer, right? For me, it's the content. And
we're gonna get the shiny curtains. It's gonna be okay.
No, you're missing the fucking point. Shut the fuck up. I hate you. You lost the championship.
Milk,
Milky milk. No, it was the fact that like the show's great.
The show's great.
The show's awesome.
Show is great.
The fact that me and Josh. Oh, here he comes. Fuck.
There it is. Give it.
Don't ruin it. Nobody's seen it yet.
Perfect.
Nobody's seen it yet. Don't get mad.
How good is it?
It's really good.
It's really good.
Now it's
Jared,
one of those things.
You, us, all of both of us. I'm not even the guest on every show. I'm just saying between the two of you and me is just a guy in a purple plaid suit.
You're
it's
great.
a really good job between all three of us.
I
just pray that someday I can be half the host that Josh is as a guest.
Whoa.
Because Josh is a superb guest.
You should go watch that Newlywed Game when he was the host.
No, he was really drunk. It was hour 17. Okay, you can't put that kind of demands on my boy.
No, here's the thing though. I know it was a
defending
good
him all the
show
time.
content wise
Yeah.
because I was in the other room and like, dude, as you guys know as an audience, we put out a lot of content. Like, I don't know how many hours a week, but like it must be over 10 for easily, right?
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Like,
what, we're live 11 to, well, we used to be live 11 to 12:30 every day, 5 times a week.
are we slackers?
Hour and a
What the fuck?
half.
Let's step it up. Not joking. Real talk. Like that's a lot of time, and we're all back there working when other people on the shows and whatever. It's rare that I'm back there when I'm like I'm so focused and I have to do this thing that I'm like I gotta stop working to put my headphones on, turn on Twitch, or come out here and see what's going on. And the morning show would have so many. Whenever Greg would do some dumb shit on the morning show, or whenever it's like
Good times.
things get, like Andrea started screaming, like we knew there was something fun going
She
on.
screamed a lot today.
Debatable yesterday for me was so hard while you guys were recording it because I was like, I have so much to do. I cannot take my headphones off and go in there and see what's going on because I have to fucking edit this video or make this video happen. But like, I can't wait to see what that is because like that show seems special.
It was great.
That's the biggest thing about it is as we evolve into what that show will be. Like I think for as strong as episode 1 is, for me and Jared tomorrow to talk and hone in what episode 2 is going to be, which is Jack Patillo arguing with me about Marvel or MCU heroes. Like that'll be a great one, right? And like you talk about the fact of what this show becomes over time. Again, I think it's interesting, right? You want to talk about like questions, right? Over on Patreon.com/kindafunny, where we put up the bronze tier, be part of the show, which you can be right now. Ruben Gomez writes in and says Tim's original topic of Disney princess fuck list, right?
Yeah.
On the original GameOverGreggy show.
Episode 1.
Right. And it's that thing of for what the GameOverGreggy show was to what it is now, to what it will become, right? To talk about Debatable, what it is in the episode 1 to what it will become. I think that's the biggest thing. And we've talked about episode 1 of the GameOverGreggy show. And you and I have had private conversations of people wanting to know something about it, this, that, and the other, and me going to link people and now 2019, 2018 before, but being like, going back and be like, here's this, you know what, I'm not gonna show that episode.
Yeah.
Like the way we've changed, the way we've matured, the way that like I talk about on this show all the time, and everything we've done, right? Of like, going to college, I would say gay. I didn't see the problem with it. This is gay. That's gay. Blah, blah, blah. Not meaning that's homosexual. Yada, yada, yada. But then the first time my first gay friend called me on it, and I was like, you know what? That's not the way to use that word. That's not the thing. To be here now, and granted, you know, we talk about this being our 4-year anniversary, but GameOverGreggy show wasn't 4 years ago. That was 4.5, 5 years ago,
4
right?
years ago.
Of like, what a
November.
different world that was, and how younger you were. And like in that episode, I'm like, oh my God, really?
Skinnier, yeah.
But even then, like now it would be like, stop the show. No, let's have a conversation. Then we were all so young.
Dude, I mean, hold on. Let me take it from you.
Please
here.
go.
I am drunk. Obviously, I already totally want the right to be able to take this conversation back, to be able to say it in a much more succinct, real way. But like, yeah, do I regret anything I said there? I want to, on record, no, I don't. Would I ever say that stuff again? No, I wouldn't. I've
my
grown.
God.
I've changed. It's like
That's
I
the
was
point
so
of what
much
this is
younger,
about.
and at that time, it's like that. What was I? thought was acceptable.
Oh my God.
And stuff that like was cool and funny and trendy and all the things of YouTube and all this.
Yeah,
and
but
SEO
like,
and
you didn't say
blah,
that
blah,
bad.
blah. And well, here's the thing.
Well, I mean, like,
that's
no,
why
I-
that's why I'm reserving the right to like
No, you're fine.
to say this. I don't know what I said.
No,
I haven't
again,
listened to that episode since it aired.
You're fine, man. I think a lot of us have
I
matured,
disagree.
obviously. I think we've matured, and I think we've gotten better at our job. And I think there's a line to be drawn between, obviously, like I say some outrageous stuff, but I always like to say things in the spirit in which it was intended. And I think that's supposed to be entertainment, right? I don't think you were doing anything malicious, or I've never heard any of us say anything
No,
that
it
was
wasn't
intended
malicious.
to be
Super
mean or
true.
malicious or anything like that. So I don't think you need to apologize for anything.
Yeah.
The
And
problem was, I disagree with you, is that it wasn't that he needs to apologize for being malicious in the argument. It was the fact that at no point in time now would any of us sit here and objectify a female character to that way. At no point would I be like, MCU fuck list. And I shouldn't even say that. MCU female fuck list.
I was going to say, we do MCU fuck list, but it'd be everywhere.
Chris Hemsworth.
be
Chris
all
Hemsworth.
Chris's, and
Yeah,
I'll
I'll
say,
fucking
to be real,
fuck all
that's
these
acceptable.
people.
but
right
to
now.
be real, it's like this is a conversation I should not be having at this point right now. But like at the same time, I feel like I'm totally okay to say it because these are my real feelings. Like that is also not okay. It's like
No,
we
no,
need
I
to be
mean,
real
no,
about this
no.
stuff, and it's like I feel like there is this super PC like back and forth battle between like, can we talk about this? Can we not talk about this? And it's like I do feel it's like, oh well, we can't talk about that, so that means we can talk about the other side in an extreme way. It's like, oh, we can't talk about objectifying women, so that means we can talk about objectifying men.
Sure.
No, that's fucking bullshit. This is stupid. We should be able to talk about something, not talk about something, or somewhere just agree that we shouldn't talk to each other.
Well,
right?
That's the biggest thing about this show and where it started and where the Kind of Funny podcast continues to evolve to is that this isn't ever about, hey, let's hide from our mistakes. Let's hide away from our feelings. Let's not feel comfortable enough to be like, I have changed. I've matured. My opinions changed. You know what I mean? Like that's
It's also not about right or wrong. It's about the conversation. Like there's everything that we just said, the three of us disagree with each other. And that's totally okay.
Yeah.
Because it's like we all are different people. And guess what? The conversation we just had right now, let's look in 4 years, where are we going to be about this same topic? It's probably going to be very different for
Nick will
all
come
three
around.
of us.
Nick will
Come around on not objectifying Chris Hemsworth. Go fuck
No,
it.
no,
Go fuck yourself.
Hemsworth loves it. He looks
Go
at it, he's like,
fuck yourself.
Yeah, nailed it.
We
Nailed
do
it.
a podcast called Rank Those Abs. I ain't never gonna fucking do that. I'll double down
There's a
on that
difference
shit.
between rape that abs and which princess you want to fuck.
Rate. He meant rate with a hard T.
Wait, did I sound
you,
like
put
rape?
you put a little bit of a P
Which
in there right
abs
now.
do you want to rape?
I'm gonna take those washboards in my mouth. With the T.
T.
Rate.
I feel like if I got, rate is what I'm saying. Yeah,
We all know what you're talking about. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Look, that is the power of what we're doing here. Obviously, like, and we want to be able to have those conversations. We have had those conversations before. It's important, and I think we're an important part of people's lives, and they're an important part of our lives. We should be able to have those. Probably not when we're all a little tired and drunk, but the spirit of what you're saying, absolutely there. Absolutely there.
You guys have mentioned your inebriation several times. Right now on the Kind of Funny Reddit, just popped up here a little while ago, there's a complete flow chart for what to expect when Tim gets drunk.
Oh my God!
All the
Please tell
stages
me
that it
where we've
goes
hit.
through.
I'd like to know this.
From stream begins till the end. That's pretty long.
Okay, then don't
yeah,
worry about it.
yeah,
but
but
when we
that's
start hitting
definitely-
miles, let me know.
Definitely. Oh, we're well into. I think we've
Speaking
already
of milestones,
reached
Kevin, where are we
galaxy
at right
brain.
now on the
Hey,
thermometer?
Can I say? Oh yeah.
Joey's gonna come in.
Joey's gonna come in later.
Before she does that, I want to put this out there at this fucking table, the final GameOverGreggy show, and I want to say this, and this is a real fucking thing.
Yeah.
I have not had more fun at this company than I had the week leading into our break for the holidays.
Oh, the one where I was
Morning
gone.
show?
Thanks, Tim.
But
Thanks,
what I mean
Tim.
by that is there was
High five.
no one like
High five.
me and Greg had to shoulder so much of the content that it was like there was no guy that had to be the straight man.
Sure.
It was like everyone just got to be the funny guy. Everyone just got to be the expert. Sorry, depending
I'm
on
the export. I'm
depending
from
on what they were
Spain.
trying to say. It's
I
like
updated encoder.
because you said this shit earlier. It's like you're either the expert on the show or the straight man or the funny guy. You didn't bring up straight man, but it's like or
That's
the
what me
funny
and Jared
guy.
talked about, yeah.
But that's where I fall. Is like I feel, and I've said this on shows before. I feel like for me, I always fall as the straight man. I never get to be the expert or the funny guy,
Yeah, I see you as an expert in certain subjects.
and I appreciate that.
He undersells himself all the time. This
I know-
is Tim's thing. Is he's self-deprecating.
But what I'm saying is, it's like the drunk thing. Granted, I am drunk now. I'm not super
doesn't
wasted
matter.
right now. Like
No, you're at stage
there was
4.
there was a different.
Prove you're sober and punch through the wall.
No. What I'm saying, and I want to say this on camera because I want people to understand this. And it is funny, and like making fun of people for being drunk. I'm always going to do that. That's totally cool. I'm always down to play along with
fine.
all of this stuff. But I want people to understand Tim Ragnarok and Tim all this stuff. There's very little difference between how I am right now versus how I am on camera there.
Wait, are we calling you Tim Ragnarok right now?
Oh, you didn't know this?
Dude, did I
Tim
miss
1
this?
and 2 suck. Tim Ragnarok.
Tim 1 and 2 suck. Tim Ragnarok
Tim
is the
Ragnarok
best. It's
is
like, That's what
awesome.
I'm saying is like, I want you guys as an audience, if you can please give me a favor. Please do me a favor.
Yeah, whatever.
Give me
a chance.
Give me a fucking favor. Give me a fucking favor.
Give him a
You know what I
fucking
mean?
give him a fucking favor.
him a fucking
you selfish
favor.
sons
I don't
of
know what that
bitches
means.
who
I
have
don't
given
Let me
us
not
amazing
be the
amounts of money
straight guy.
today.
Let me just fucking go.
That's
You know
what the
I mean?
point of
But
these
here-
shows
here's
are.
what I'm
That's what
telling
I'm
you
saying.
guys.
I believe it, but I'm just saying. It's
I'm
like,
sorry.
here's-
I believe someone who's bad at Overcook's yelling from back there.
We want Tim Ragnarok.
Thank you. Team Tim.
Oh, you're good, buddy.
Thank
Now, let me
you.
tell you right now, as a person who has decided a long time ago that being the expert or being a straight man is just not in the cards for me, welcome to the fucking new world, baby.
Yeah.
Because I
new
think
world,
we
man.
all are best. Here's what I love, and I'm just gonna take a page out of people's books that I've seen. Feedback on the drunk episodes. People fucking love them. You know why? Because both of you guys get silly, and I'm always silly.
No, you're not.
You're not.
I'm always silly.
Here's Nick being silly.
You fucking got
Actually, it's that. You're a coward. And that's why you lost the belt. And Joey, take the mic. You're bad at
Speaking
Overcooked.
of drunk episodes, we've got some shots we gotta do for these for our
Jesus
Patreon.
fucking
Oh,
Christ.
Yeah, baby.
no.
If I heard that correctly, and I'm really tired, but Joey said she's gonna do all the shots for us.
I'm not gonna do all of them. I will do some.
do a shot for me.
Joey.
Maybe one more shot glass.
One more shot glass. One more shot glass. One more shot glass, Joey.
Do you want to do them all now, or do you want to spread them out?
How many are there?
There's 3.
Fuck no, I don't know all at once. You kidding
No,
me? Jesus
3
Christ.
Here's what I'm gonna
3
say.
each?
We have
'Cause I
3
don't-
people that have donated for shots.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Each of us could take one.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Josh is in. Look at Josh just suddenly coming.
I love it.
By the way,
My
I love
boy
that Josh wore a suit, a shirt that matches the background,
tribute.
so he can come in and come out whenever he wants.
You got wings on there? Is that wings?
Bowling cups off my desk.
Well, no, let's do it. So, yeah, I'm down to do one.
Okay.
I'm down to do one too.
Kevin wants to do one.
Let's
And
go.
let-
Again, if you're watching live, patreon.com/kindafunny
patreon.com/kindafunny
or patreon.com/kindafunnygames. If you're not watching live, you're listening later, please, if you're enjoying this shit show, go
Down a
over
little
to
bit.
patreon.com/kindafunny or patreon.com/kindafunnygames. If you're watching later on YouTube, guess what? This is the original GameOverGreggy sign. On the back, it is signed by all sorts of guests who have come in.
Have you guys signed it?
It is
Not
too
yet.
late.
We're
No,
gonna
we'll
sign
sign
it
at the very
end.
It's too late for you to bid on it. We're doing an auction right now on patreon.com/kindafunny, patreon.com/kindafunnygames, where Joey is going to announce one day who won it.
Yeah, I have those too, but I figured I'd spread everything out.
No, spread it out, Joe.
While Joey's pouring these, I want to say I don't want to let this go. I am in full support of Tim
Oh
Ragnarok.
no, I know, and I didn't
Internet,
get. I
want
didn't
you
get
guys.
to where I
When
want to
is Internet
say.
Explorers? When is
Thank
it?
you, Joe.
Monday.
We are gonna fucking
That's what
go.
I'm dude. That's what
hard.
I'm saying, man.
To
Internet
answer,
Explorers is about to be. There is no straight man. There is no,
no,
dad
why would
at
you
the
let
table.
it go? I
It
want
is
you to
Tim and
embarrass me
Nick.
for once.
Oh, let's
I
time
want to
out
feel
real
what it's
quick.
like to be embarrassed by the
Can
person
we
sitting
buy
next to
me a
us.
terry cloth bathrobe and a white shirt, and I come in with a coffee cup, and I'm like, "Hey guys, what are you doing? What are you doing?" And you're like, "It's like nothing, Dad, nothing." We're saying, I'm like, "All right, well, keep it down."
Just real quick, the next time I come on in any of the shows, I have a terry cloth pool blazer that I will wear just for you, sir.
I forget how much money you have to go to your parents' house.
150K.
Everybody go to 150K right now.
The Makugas will welcome you with so many open arms. It's going to be the greatest day in
So
Pittsburgh.
take these broken wings
And
learn to Makuga again. Learn to Makuga.
You really started that high.
Karaoke Revolution Volume 1.
I want to do karaoke so
Want
bad.
bourbon or tequila?
Josh, can we wear
Tequila.
terry cloth rompers to your parents' house? Have you seen these?
Oh, I haven't.
Shorts.
I'm in.
Bourbon or tequila?
Zip up romper. They sell them.
That my parents would only like.
Oh, that's getting confusing. So we're doing shot number 1. Me, Josh, and Tim. Who are we doing it for?
There you go.
We are doing it for David Mintel.
David.
We're doing for David Mintel.
Wait, so this is shot number 1?
Yeah, this
David
is just us three.
Montel.
David, my
No, not you. You're on a different shot, Kevin. I love you. No, don't drink it, Kevin.
Kevin, you and I, it's for
Go for it.
the homie from the chat, Panzer G2.
Josh Makuga, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, you,
You
David.
know.
Baby, I'm so sorry.
Learn to live so clear.
Josh Makuga just took a chaser of beer.
Well, that's the way to do it. That's a pro move.
I love
I feel
it.
like
I
we're
love
going
it.
to come back to
Wait,
this.
is Gia gone?
No,
She's still
Hey, wait, yeah, Jen, I sent you away. You should go away. You don't want to see how this ends.
Jen's gone.
I believe
She's right there.
Oh wait.
Jen has seen this ending more than one time.
She's the best I've ever seen.
Fuck me up with some cheese.
Greg Miller, host of the Game Over Greggy Show.
Oh, hold on. Jared Petty's chiming in. What do you got for me, Jared
I
Petty?
believe that according to the flowchart, we are now leaving stage 3.
Of Tim Gettys' drunkenness?
Which is Big Brain Tim making unprompted philosophical revelations.
Yeah.
Which is then followed immediately by hard liquor.
Yeah.
Which then leads to stage 4, Tim.
That's Slurry Tim?
Which is Galaxy Brain Tim, who drifts about the set with a look of pure serenity.
That's
He
Slurry
does
Tim.
not speak, except when he grabs the mic and makes a point of saying something that he
Oh my
regards
God.
as a major intellectual achievement.
We've already hit that point.
It usually isn't, but he says it with such conviction that you believe him.
We're already at that
nailed
point.
you.
Yo,
After
my
after
God.
15 minutes, there's another stage, and
We'll get there later. Let us know when we hit
Let
it.
us know when we hit
Shout
Slurry
out.
Tim.
Who wrote this?
This is posted by Nth Day on Cap something. I
Caprica?
Yeah,
Not
Nth Day
familiar.
Cap-
Not familiar.
Probably Caprica.
Shout out though, today we're doing a million things. We're setting all these records on Patreon. We're killing it right now. You've hired
big.
Barry.
Did we
You're
set a
doing-
record? Can we say that?
Yeah, of course we
Cool.
did.
Fuck Patreon. We got it.
No, not fucking.
We won. We fucking won. High five me.
Shout out to the subreddit r/kindafunny, which crossed 20,000 subs today.
20,000
Yes.
subs. And now, because of the Patreons, both Patreons, assuming you enjoy
Reddit flair.
the thing, you get a little flair. If you're a Patreon supporter, you finally get this little Patreon sign next to your name when you make a post, which is fucking awesome, man.
Alexander Preston on our bronze tier on patreon.com/kindafunny says, I would love for you guys to go around and talk about the topics that made you laugh the most. Smiley emoji.
shit.
Are we
Can I
all going to
start?
say the exact same
Can I-
thing?
Yeah. Well, hold on. I don't remember what type of thing it was. Yeah, okay, now I remember. Y'all ready?
Grapefruit.
3. Oh,
You're going to say that?
grapefruit. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is
I was
the
gonna say,
grapefruit.
remember-
Countdown.
Dude, I'm sorry.
The grapefruit.
I bet.
You said y'all ready for this.
It's
Yeah,
too late.
okay, I
It's
thought
too
it
late,
was gonna be
Josh.
a
It's too
countdown,
late. Sorry.
It's too late.
I thought you were saying it was the grapefruit episode.
grapefruit
Hands down.
episode.
Are you kidding me? You brought that to the table, right?
I think that was me, actually.
That was
Really?
Nick, dude.
Yeah, I think that was actually my
Nick.
topic.
Nick was like, I
That's
saw
what I was
a
like, I'm not
YouTube
gonna fire
video.
Nick.
And all of a sudden,
And Tim
like,
was like, great, it's going to be a YouTube
Like,
video
what's
all of
Nick
us
gonna
saw
bring?
45 minutes, like 45 years ago. No, to be fair.
Hold on.
And I don't remember the
Kevin.
person.
can you bring up the grapefruit video?
Yeah. I don't remember the best friend out there that gave it to me, but somebody hit me up
Oh,
on
this
Twitter.
is back in the day when, your topics were all pulled from
Nick
Twitter.
never had a
Somebody hit me out. I used to get in a not so subtle ploy to get more people to follow me on Twitter. By the way, if you have topics for the show, tweet at me and we'll talk about it. At
Where?
Nick_Scarpino.
Thank you.
I'm not verified on Instagram yet, but if I get verified before Greg, that'll be an even bigger win for me than the belt.
And it'll also be really shame when he's dead.
Yeah. Yeah. Me?
I'll kill him.
Oh, well, there goes all your stupid ride homes. Why don't you enjoy the fucking
you're
Those
right.
are stupid, right?
I hate him.
I will say
so
this though. I
jealous.
can't remember his name, and I wish I could. But somebody said, "Hey," on
Dirk
Twitter was like,
Bentley.
"Hey, you should watch this video." And I watched it at my parents' house, and my mom was like, "What the fuck are you watching?"
Should I
I'm
call
like,
her?
"Mom, you don't." Oh, she won't remember this. This is years ago. She probably won't remember. But it was very poignant because I was like, I laughed at this so hard, but I was out on a wire. Because I was like, I don't know if the guys are going to think this is as funny as me. And I don't like that disapproving dad look that Tim gives me sometimes, where I bring something to the table that everyone's already seen like 2 years ago. So I took a chance on an unknown boy.
We're
And it
gonna
paid
watch
off.
this video because like we got at least the funniest part to
We're
like
not-
react to it again.
Kevin's waving his finger.
What's happening, Kevin?
Oh, Andy's waving his
All right,
finger
we'll watch
saying
it in a little
they're
bit.
not
when
doing
Kevin
it.
Now-
goes back, we'll watch it. But like, do you have
I
something?
mean, like,
No, I
it's
was
a
gonna say, before we
classic
forget,
episode. If
You owe people story time, by the way. One story time.
Oh my God, I'm not there yet still.
Okay.
Let me get
At
to the end of the show. I'm
we're gonna
wasted.
end with a
Yeah.
story
I
time.
want to give a shout out to the fact that like there's very few secrets between
Us?
this table and the audience and all of this stuff.
Sure.
When it comes to the show and like what we can and can't talk about and all this stuff. To me, what's hilarious is that one of the things that I would count as off limits is Nick's mom.
Really? Elena?
The only thing about Nick's mom,
If you're an audio listener, you have no idea what happened. Tonight, during the middle of this live stream, Johnny A shut up, Nick went away. During the championship match of Joshpardy, that's right, Josh McCouga's Jeopardy.
look at him back there. He's so
And he
fucking
said we
pretty.
could call in one person, and so I called in Elena Scarpino, unbeknownst to everyone in the room.
The thing about
At which
this-
when Tim went, I was like, oh shit.
And
Now-
now, like, dude, it turned into a moment. My glasses came off.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't know how to handle this.
It's totally. The thing is this: I knew when he called her, I was like, he's probably vetted this through Matt. I totally understand. But like everyone else, I'm very protective of my mom. Right? I don't want her to feel bad.
I'm so good.
She's awesome.
I love Elena.
You know, I just you have this thing where we live this life.
Oh yeah.
And my biggest, like a big fear of mine is that, you know, I'll say something crazy and someone will, you know, give my mom shit for it. I just want to be protective of her because God bless her. She's a wonderful human being. She's the best mom a person could ever have.
How old is she?
And she's 69 years old. You get it. She'll be 69 forever as far as I'm concerned. But you know, I just don't want, you know, I'm protective of her. I don't want her to misunderstand something and get offended, and I don't want her to feel bad. So obviously that's why I kept her around, or kept her from. That's why I've kept the machine on. That's why I've tried to shield her.
The shield.
Can I real quick? I think Scarpino and I are cut from the same cloth. Our mom and I probably. I'm
gonna laugh my ass off when I go to Pittsburgh and your mom opens the door and it's my mom.
Yeah,
I'm like, how? How
is that when your mom answered the phone when Greg called? It would have been the same thing if one of my best friends, like if Mark Ellis called my mom would answer, be like, Mark, what do you need? And we're like, Miss McCougar, we're on a live. She'd be like, whatever you need, just tell me. And then she would answer the questions just like your mom did, and then gone back to her glass of Beaujolais just like your mom did too. It's the same. Italian moms are the same. It was a lovely thing, hysterical thing that you did.
Thanks for finally calling it down the middle.
Yeah, really down the middle. I tried. Tim, I saw your nervousness, but I knew you were worried, but it worked out really well.
Here's my thing though. It was like a nervousness, but it also shows so much growth from one Nick Scarpino. Because that's some real shit where it's like, I feel, and I know we've talked about this a bazillion times on the show, but this last year, it's crazy to think it's only been last year, but like this last 365 days where you were like, I'm going to do stand-up comedy. I'm going to try this. I'm going to do this thing that we all were like, real talk. Sure, he's going to. All right, cool. That sounds nice. But
I thought you'd do it once and be done with it.
And not only did you do it, you did it well. And you convinced all of us to try it. And like you did all this shit where it's like, man, you got so much better on the show. So the fact that we gave you the Kind of Funny morning show, now you have KFAF, you have all these things to like have these outputs to be you.
Proofs in the pudding.
And it's like the way you handled the mom thing and the way you are Johnny Yates, or sorry, excuse me. You might.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. My wife said the same thing today. I was like, babe, I don't get it. Will someone please explain? I mean, I guess we kind of look alike because we're both kind of jacked out and beautiful, big dicks. But I don't understand why people keep making
Johnny
this.
Ace has a big dick?
Oh, he's fucking huge, man. Big.
Yeah.
Big.
Sweaty hog.
Big.
You called it one.
Sweaty hog.
Big fucking sweat hog.
What was that from? That's from something.
The Thor. It was from a Kind of Funny Doodles where Nick described what a Thor action figure commercial
showing up
looked
in a kid's house.
It's like Thor would come to this kid's house with a big fucking sweaty hog between his legs.
It's a hog so big you can ride it out of the fucking stable. That's what I want to say. That's what I'm telling you right now, man. It feels so cathartic to just say stupid shit like that.
Dude, the Doodles are such a great example of that. Going back and watch that, like, you know, the fact that we all jumped to what's the funniest thing you ever laughed at?
Doodles was good.
Like the fucking grapefruit episode, I will never forget because it literally you can watch that episode. I forget what episode it is. Somebody will shout it out. But it, like you watch it, and it's all of us watching, and then all of us explode.
In the
and it's that thing where you go to the floor. Nick goes back, I go back. Colin leans into me because it is the most. It's outrageous enough that this woman's talking about using a grapefruit to give a blowjob, and then the sounds she does.
The thing is about that is what Kind of Funny is. That's what Kind of Funny is at this day. It's what Kind of Funny was then. It's what Kind of Funny will always be. It's a bunch of people that are sharing a moment that all come from any state of mind. It doesn't matter. You could be very different. You could be all the same.
Have a good time.
It's people around a table that watch one video that, real talk, none of us thought we'd laugh at.
No, you guys were like, what the fuck is he doing?
Everyone ended up laughing at.
Had a good time that day.
Because
like,
it made people uncomfortable. When we first started watching it, all of us were like, for different reasons, what the fuck is Nick showing to us right now? Like, I'm sure some of us were like, is this okay to watch? I'm sure some of us were like, this is not going to be
okay to watch.
This is going to be bad. And it's just like, there's so many different perspectives when we watched it, and all of us died. I hate that I can't see Kevin. I've never not had eyes on Kevin.
He's not here, and we probably can't show the video because of TOS.
We are on Twitch right now. We can just we don't have to show. Let's put it this way: you don't have to see it. All you have to do is hear it. Because if memory serves correctly, we didn't show it on the podcast. I think we just listened to it, and we watched the video. But I think they could just hear from our mics.
Yeah, I don't think they showed the video.
Yeah, I don't think they ever showed it because I was like, I don't think you can put this on YouTube, like taken down. Actually, I guess you can because she was on YouTube. It was a YouTube link. But man, what a pro! What a fuck. What I talk about things to aspire to in 2020.
You know what's bullshit? I've never tried it.
The grapefruit thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never tried it either. That's fucking crazy.
Fun story. I haven't tried it either.
Damn it, you fucking asshole!
But, like, can I see
you
where
cannot.
Can I see where this is going?
You can't do that, Greg.
Is this going to? Is this how Jen fucks you up with cheese?
Wait, what did I miss? Why are you mad at me?
We can't be. Oh, we haven't tried it, and you'd be like,
Fun
all
fact.
right.
Yeah, fun story.
Oh, no.
Story.
It was that after I started dating my wife, she came home one day and she lived with a male roommate, and there were grapefruits there that were like suddenly there and like cut in half and stuff. And not like they'd been used, but like one had been cut and like there was another half. I don't know. This is the one moment Jen's out of the room, but she was like, I hate that I know what this means now that I've been dating you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Back in the day.
Was that the first time you were like, if she's cool with this, she can hang forever?
No, I knew she was cool long before that.
All right, cool.
But you haven't done it?
Well, this is kidding at me.
No.
Not that
I wouldn't have thought to do it. Have you done it?
No, we haven't done it.
Who the fuck cares? I don't need
No, I want to know because Tim
Who
has
the fuck
Tim has an
cares?
active sexual life with a
Hold on,
significant
no,
other.
no, no, no.
No,
And
he
I
doesn't.
want to
Now he's
live
got pop
vicariously
chips
through
all
it.
over the bed.
Put it on the. There's pop juice all over the bed. Put it on the fucking Patreon thing.
Have you done?
What? No, we are not putting
grapefruit.
sex acts on the Patreon fucking thermometer.
Fuck not.
That was
Grow
gonna-
up.
Are they gonna kick us off for that?
Everyone
Yeah,
has
they
sex.
might. We already broke the law with the raffle thing for like 5 years.
For
I know.
$47,500, Gia and I will
No!
Try the grapefruit though.
eat a grapefruit together.
And on your
That's
penis,
fair.
on your pee-pee. You'll eat it with your
What?
pee-pee. It'll be
Yeah, my
you,
pee-pee
Gia, and Harry and the Hendersons down
my
there.
Here's another Makuga quick offer for Tim and Gia. If the day comes
in.
around and you propose and you guys get married, hit a tier. I'll officiate your wedding, no problem. I'm already a licensed minister.
I already got a guy.
no.
Oh, you're going Scarpino or you're going Greg? I thought you were going to put them in your wedding.
It's Scarpino.
He's
I thought
asked
you
me.
got the job since day one.
Well, I thought you were going to put them in
That was
your wedding.
before you
and
were
I
all
could
fucking
do.
ministered and stuff.
I mean, listen.
Well,
have you
let's see
ever
if you make it to
officiated
the
a
wedding. Let's see if you make it to the wedding.
I'm
twice.
just sitting over here
twice.
scoffing
Oh,
at
shit,
it.
I meant 9 times, no
An
bad.
actual Reverend Jared Petty on the shock
Maybe it's time for you
mic.
to hang up the belt, huh? Maybe nine. They say lucky
A
number 9.
young last name Jamie, a.k.a. Skizzup, writes in at the patreon.com/kindafunny bronze tier and says, what are some of the most impactful interactions with community members you've had leading up to this point? Can you talk about who is coming on to the meet and greets yet, or who's coming out to the meet and greets yet? Thank you guys. Thanks for everything. This table. Period. This table, my dudes.
Can I answer that question?
Sure.
Meeting Jamie, actually. And here's why.
That was a big moment, yeah.
Here's why. I met her in Vegas when we did the GameStop Expo. I think it was
Never
the
forget.
second
GameStop,
one.
yeah.
Jamie.
Skizzup.
Jamie.
Skizzup.
Okay,
Now,
now it's Jenny. I'm like,
no,
who the fuck's Jenny?
perfect example, right? She
Nick's like, I'll never forget Jenny.
Jenny.
yeah, you're right.
So
Nah,
Jamie
I'll
came
never
up
forget
to
that
me.
either.
And you know me, I wasn't a part of a lot of shows
Yep.
up until recently. So when I saw people's handles, it didn't really like you guys were like, oh, so and so and so and so. I'm like, that doesn't mean what it means to you guys because I don't
If
see
you
those
saw
every day.
Ignacio Rojas now, you'd be like,
Oh, I'd
my
hug
man.
him and we'd eat some fucking alfajores together, and he'd be like, "Come to Chile," and I'm like, I'm probably not gonna do that. But she was one of the names I recognized, and so when she said, "Hey," and she introduced herself to me, and said, "I'm Jamie," and I was like, "Oh, cool." She goes, "No, I'm Skizzup." I'm like, "Oh, shit, I know you. Like, I recognize you from the chat and from being a supporter," and that was a huge moment for me. I don't know if she knows this, and I don't think I ever told her, but I was like, that was a big moment for me because I was like, I'm getting it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a part of this world. You know, it's cool. It was fun for me.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the moments that I have to shout out are number one, Sean Pitts at PAX East 20.
Flexing in the aisle.
I'm thinking. It was
14?
before we left, 2014.
2013?
That was when I got in trouble with IGN for doing a PAX East, man. It was
Where it
2014.
was GameOverGreggy show.
Yeah.
2014. Yeah, that's what it was. It was because it was March.
Yeah.
And
He was the first person we ever saw in a GameOverGreggy shirt.
Yeah. And then he came up to me and like we had such a great conversation. We talked about Fast and Furious. We talked about a whole bunch of stuff and like just like he paid attention and listened to what we did. And then it was also following up with him when he was at Kind of Funny Live and we had talked about other things. And then the following PAX East when we talked and he was just like, dude, the intro to Kind of Funny Live, I watched that. I watched the video and I watched that intro like 2 times a week. And it just gets me so hyped up and I tear up every time. And I was just like, that to me was the ultimate compliment. Where I'm like, something that we created makes you feel the way that I felt from people that I admire creating things that they did. And I was like, holy shit, we have something very special on our hands. It was that. And then at E3 2016, I think it was, where I met Mario Not Bros. And I didn't know someone was filming. And there was someone with a camera phone with him, but he came up to me and was saying, "Hey, I'm Mario," whatever. And I like looked at him and had this moment that was like, I thought I got kind of starstruck with him where I was like, is this Mario Not Bros? Like,
Yeah.
I was like, are you Mario Not Bros? And he was like, yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. Because he was one of the guys that was in my comments on Instagram, on Twitter, on my YouTube videos, our YouTube videos, everything. That was just like standing up for me in a time when honestly, like it's crazy to look back now where I am at in this company. Because in 2015, I was not here. People didn't like me. I was the new guy that was with Greg and Colin.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it was like, oh, Tim doesn't know games. Tim doesn't know how to be on camera. Tim doesn't know this. Tim doesn't know whatever. And like that was the majority of the comments. And he was one of the people that I recognized his name because he was always like, I'm Team Tim. And now we got Team Tim for reals, right?
Team Tim's great.
There we go. Thank you.
Team Tim's great. How have we never said that before?
I mean, you're on Team Greg because you're Greg. Cool, Greg.
I'm on
That's how it
Team
works.
Thor Ragnarok over there. I want Tim Ragnarok.
Thank you, Tim Ragnarok, man.
Also, Greg's
no,
not champ.
but Mario Not Bros. That moment where I realized it was
the belt
him.
things differ.
That was very, very, very special for me.
Thank you, Josh, so much.
Josh, the best.
I mean, like, asking me to pick a favorite fan interaction is impossible because there's just been so many. You know what I mean? Like, the first one I jumped to, and this is like, go ahead and throw it in my face, the best friend thing or whatever. But the first one I jumped to is
Sorry, in your face.
Can I say one more?
Sure.
Because I really fucked this up because I meant to make sure I said this. Real talk. It was Moscow Mules with one. Get over here. Get the fuck over here.
Andres.
Andy Cortez. Andy Cortez is probably the first person that I would consider a best friend that became like a best friend, like all caps noun, whatever, to a best friend. Like, yo, you're literally someone that like is going to go watch Spider-Man Homecoming with Curran and James and like people that are my fucking people.
Yeah.
Where I went to Texas. I mean, I even pitched you on Andy. Where it was
just don't steal it because I got a good transition.
Okay. But like to not steal that, it's like Andy was one of those guys where I'm like, from day one, I trusted him. I told him things people didn't know about, kind of funny. And there was one night in Austin before all of this, before like it was even like a huge thing. Like I feel like it was even before like the kind of funny merger of us going into RT as a partner at all. And it was one of me and Gia's few nights in Austin. And she had friends in Austin, like good friends in Austin at the time. And I was like, hey, I want to spend tonight doing this thing and I want to hang out with this guy, Andy. You're going to love him, don't worry. And me, Andy, and Gia ended up hanging out all night drinking Moscow Mules. Like it was such a moment where I was like, the best friend thing is fucking real.
So for me, I'm going to piggyback off that, but come back to it, put a pin in it. Something I apparently
if he's lying, he's dying.
It's his line.
If I'm lying, I'm dying. It was for me the first one that springs to mind, a fan interaction I'll never forget. Beyond 400. So I've already left. We've already left. Colin and I did Beyond 381 and we're done and then left. They invited me back, or they invited all of us back, but I'm the only one who went for Beyond 400. Did a News Ghost segment, blah, blah, blah. It was at the same place we did Kind of Funny Live 1 with Francesca or whatever her name was. And I closed out the place of signing autographs, taking photos, blah, blah. Somewhere when it was just down to me, a kid came up to me in the meet and greet, was talking to me, and was very much like, hey, I think we took a shirtless photo, but then was like, hey, you know, my mom had just got diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma 2, blah, blah, blah. I was like, is she okay? She's okay. We both cried and hugged. That's the moment I'll never forget. I can't remember his name, you know what I mean? But to your point, stick with me. The other day, we're doing a Fallout 76 games daily, right? And it is that thing of like, all right, cool, I need a thumbnail. I've used a million Fallout 76s. I've done this. And it's like, oh, a Kind of Funny fan made art of me and Colin at doing the Vault Boy shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, God. Through my email, search Fallout, search this. Who the fuck did this? I don't know. Finally get to it. There it is, blah. It's fucking Andy Cortez.
Yeah.
Long before Andy
dude.
had any inclination of working here.
Andy made the Let Tim host shirt.
In the same, I mean, even before that though, right?
Yeah,
Like he's
way
just a
before
fan.
that.
And it's like, it's the same thing of, I remember the first time I ever met Andy or talked to Andy through the internet where he's like, yeah, you know, I made this sleigh in DC Universe Online. I was like, oh my fucking God, I know that sleigh so well, yada, yada, yada. And then talking to Jens from DC Universe Online at the time, years later, and be like, I don't remember. Some fans said they made the sleigh, and then months later, talking to Andy, like, oh, yeah. I was like, He actually worked here already. I was like, oh fuck, you're the dude. Yo, God, and all it links into place, and it's the same way with Barrett, right? Of like, I put it up on Instagram and Twitter tonight, but there's been a million things of just like, there is a tangible letter that Barrett sent to Kinda Funny in April 2015.
He was so professional.
Saying, hey, I want to be an unpaid intern. And just like everybody else who fucking says that same goddamn email, I'm like, no. We don't do that. When we do it, you'll know about it, right?
Yeah.
But then there's the fucking goddamn Persona 5 image of, and he's flicking me off right now, of Barrett walking through the front door and having a job, and then a photo, like.
It's weird.
I can't stress it enough. And I know I'm preaching to the choir, but for anybody who ever runs into somebody who's like, mwah, I used to like Kinda Funny, but the best friend shit's fuck that person. And don't yell at him and scream at him or anything like that. Be the better person, yada, yada, yada. But like, are you fucking kidding me? Andy
Barrett,
Cortez,
how old are you
Joey
right now,
Noel, Barrett Courtney.
I'm going to give another example.
We're hiring
Get on the
all
shot,
these
Mike.
people from the community because we're building this not for you, but with you. That's the goddamn point.
while Barrett's-
And I don't care if we're never a fucking million channel sub. I don't care if we're never making $1 million on Patreon. As long as we're making enough to keep growing this and keep hiring the right people and keep making the
Keep having
best
fun.
fucking content.
My favorite thing about it is, to say this in one sentence. Last night, Gia looked at me as I'm editing a fucking video announcing all of her new announcements. They're like, if we make this, then this. If we make that, then that, whatever. And she was just like, you know, you don't need to do any of this.
Oh, God,
you
yeah.
guys you're fine. You can just keep doing what you're doing and everyone's going to be okay. And I was just like, yeah. And she's like, I know. Like, you don't need to tell me, yeah. I know. I fucking know. And that's why I'm with you. That's why we're doing this. That's why, like,
I know you
totally
know,
understand.
I know you know.
And I love that. It's like, we're never going to stop, man.
But this is my point. And before we turn over to Barrett, because I do want him to talk, and I do want everybody who want, there's a line now if people want to talk about it. But the major
I think
point
Andy's
about
just standing there. I don't think he's actually standing alive.
Talk about fucking talk.
The
You're
major
next. You're
point
next.
about
You're
it,
next.
and what we're trying to do in January, and what we're trying to do with the rest of our life is yes.
The rest of our life. That's
we
what it
could
is.
clearly right now cut it all off. We could Thanos snap. We could be like, guess what? It's Game Over Great Show. It's this, blah, 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 and never grow and never change and keep the same amount of people and keep the same amount of thing. And then one thing would happen. Patreon would change. Another thing where we're putting the tax on you or whatever the fuck like it was that one time where everybody flipped out. This happens and it
idea.
all changes. My goal here is that in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, it is not about us. Yep, we have the Kinda Funny podcast. Maybe that's just me. Maybe then Nick's only on KFAF. Maybe you're just on, you know what I mean? Like, we're able to spread it out, but we've brought in the right people and we've risen the right people from the community. You know what I mean?
My thing is, it's almost that bit different. It's not that it's not about us. It is about what we stand for.
Oh,
It is
no,
about
100%.
who
We
are.
never lose the core of what this
It's
is.
like, dude,
the
this is a
motherfuckers who
fucking
want to be an
game, man.
asshole and throw it in our face and be like, they're just becoming another Rooster Teeth. Fuck you. That's not what we're doing. We're becoming Kinda Funny. We are
Exactly.
Kinda
We are
Funny.
becoming
We're evolving
Kinda
Kinda funny. If you don't understand that, guess what? I'm sorry. You don't believe in us. You're not a best friend. Period. End of statement.
And
It's
I
just-
love Rooster Teeth. Like, to be clear, I love them. I love
my
what
God,
they do. I
yeah.
love what they've become. That's not where we're ever
That is
going.
not
you know,
who we are. Those
we're
are
gonna
not
go
our
our
aspirations.
own
To
direction.
paint that in a different light, obviously people have their criticisms, and I understand that because they're used to what we are, and they're and it's
full
it's
stop.
it's
Full
hard
stop.
for
Full
people.
stop for 1 second. There is a wide chasm between criticism of like, I don't know if this is the right decision. I would have done this. I would have done that. I'm being respectful between like, no, these motherfuckers are they're just trying to be Rooster Teeth.
Sure.
That's what I'm talking about.
But,
at no point,
but-
I know I need to be,
Yeah.
I've stressed this on Kinda Funny Games Daily. I'll stress it to the end of my days. There is a wide margin. We paint with a broad brush. There is a wide margin between, I don't agree with what you're doing. So many people have been respectful today of like, man, I don't agree with this change, that thing. I'm listening to you. I want to have a conversation with you. It's the motherfuckers who want to throw in our face and be assholes that I won't talk to.
I appreciate that. I respect that. But just to give motivations for why we're doing what we're doing, right? It's because when you start something and you see it grow, that becomes almost like a child. And you want to see that child go on to grow up and do bigger and better things, and you take pride in it. And like standing in this studio, right? Like we got panels delivered, and me and Kevin had to go to the fucking FedEx place in South San Francisco and wait for like an hour to get these fucking
During
panels.
break.
But there was during break. And Kevin
you're
was stressed out for some other stuff.
You're underselling it because it wasn't during the break. It was when the day you came back from Argentina. Right. We were at Joey's birthday, and then I can't do all that. I can't do all that. We get here. Like, because Nick's like, hey, Tim, can you come here? Can we, whatever? I come here, and you're waiting for the things. Nick waited at the studio by himself for like 6 hours for
after
these fucking
you
panels.
left. I came in. And he was still here. I was like, what's going on, man? He's like, oh, I'm just waiting for these fucking panels to be delivered.
Cool Greg then came in to see the walls
God
the
bless
next
Cool
day.
Greg. Cool Greg came in for 2 days straight. They were wrong. It turns out I hit the wrong button on FedEx.
That's what we have to deal with.
I digress. Here's the deal. Here's my point of this, right? Is that I wanted the panels to get here. A, because I wanted to make sure that the new shows looked as cool as humanly possible. But B, because it's fun to grow something and see it evolve and see the new shows. I mean, for me, I take pride in the fact that we don't just do one show. We do 5 shows because A, it gives me more ability to have a creative output, and B, it's just fun to provide that for. Like, I'm happy that Kevin is hosting Screencast. It's super cool. But I go into dad mode and go, cool, now I want that show to look dope. Now I want it to look great. I want to give it as many opportunities as possible to succeed from whatever limited abilities that I can. That's where we come from. We could rest on our laurels, and we could have just been doing this podcast still.
We could have kept doing the
bedroom.
same thing forever.
But it's not fun. It's not
fun.
fun.
It would have been, and I really do feel that thing is we could have kept doing it. We could have never grown. We could have never changed. Us 3 as founders could have been completely financially happy. All these different things. Like, that's not what this is about.
But I don't think we ever could have done that.
Oh, no. That's the whole thing.
And I think that's what makes me happy.
That's the thing about it is like, right, like, we would never be happy because I can never be happy knowing that Kevin and Joey and Andy and Barrett and everybody else aren't happy. My nightmare is any of the people I've just named, any people you don't know, being like, guess what? I gotta go. Can I gotta go? Fuck you, Makuga. You can leave. I don't pay you. But I'm saying that, like, hey, you can't pay us. And yeah. You want to move up here?
I'm gonna say this. We were supposed to talk to Barrett about 45 minutes ago. So Barrett, do you want to say
what do you have to fucking say now? You coward.
I was asked about my age, and then
you're 23.
Yeah, I'm 23.
Yeah, I understand. I could have answered that question for you.
23, but we were
turning 24 next month.
Now I'm gonna give
24, going on 54. Fellas will fall in line. I only know this song from Family Guy.
Now, 60 years old.
I'm gonna say to answer that original question because I love this as a topic.
Wait, Andy, did you say that's
most
the
memorable
song?
moments of God? There you go. Cannonball. I spilled. Cool, Greg. Can I please get something to wipe this out with? Thank you. Couple more memorable moments for me that stand out. Just not in any ranked order, but we do the Skype Hangouts for the first time. This is the first week of Skype Hangouts, okay? And we get through talking to everyone. I'm like, this is really cool. Like, it's an opportunity to talk to people. And they're a little jazzed to talk to us for the first time, and it's cool. We get about 3 in, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm having another cup of coffee from the fucking old Keurig before we killed it. And then all of a sudden, we call up someone.
4 Keurigs before we kill it, yeah.
Thank you, sir. We call up this guy, little known man, named Mike Howard. Okay? Goes by Snowbike Mike. All of us Googling Snowbikes. We don't know what the fuck that is. Don't know what that is. Don't care. Pops on the screen. Doesn't even miss a beat. What's up, sports fans? What, like, goes in and we're like, oh, he's doing a podcast. This guy's fucking crazy. Get to the end of it and we go, hey, this was really, really fun getting to know you. You got a great vibe. Where can we find this podcast that you're putting up? And he goes, what are you talking about? I'm not doing a podcast. I just wanted to do this hangout like this. And I was like, from that point on, I'm like, the next time we came around to Skype calls, and this is not to disparage Joycey, love Joycey, love seeing him, but I was like, is Snowbike Mike happening today? And when Kevin goes, yeah, Snowbike Mike's happening today, I go, this is going to be a good day. No matter what happens today, the end of the today, going to be a good day.
Can I tell you, I like to quiz both of you. Maybe not Tim, because he's
Tim
doing the
will know.
eyebrows. God, those eyebrows are
He's in
sexy.
like stage 12 of Drunk Tim.
He's Slurry Tim.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry's
Where
the
we at,
keeper.
Jerry? Where we at?
Jerry, where's Drunk Tim?
We got those caterpillars going up and down. Joe, you ever seen a caterpillar go up and down?
We have now reached stage, I believe we're right here on the edge of stage 5 for Tim.
Good job, Tim.
Tim
Congratulations.
witnesses the hellscape. Tim eventually gains enough brain power to predict far into the future, witnessing the death of humanity.
You've done it already.
He begins to wander the set like a ghost, staring far into the distance. This is followed not long after by Tim calls an Uber.
That's good. Now, before I forget, I want to give another shout out to another important thing that's happened here because of Kind of Funny.
Can I stop, though? Because I really want to piggyback off what you just said.
Sure.
So, Jared and I, and to a lesser extent, Josh McCouga, just filmed a show called Debatable, right? Debatable, we talk about all the time audience interaction, what the bronze
Really
tier
fun.
is, right? On Debatable, we're going to reach out to you and say, hey, what are your top 10 blank? You do this. Hey, what are this? You have to give us a trivia question, all these different things. Obviously, we were filming episode 1 behind the curtain because we couldn't shit. So we had to reach out to different people. So what I did is, good job. I went to patreon.com/kindafunny because it's a Kinda Funny show. And I said, hey, sort by the people who have given us the most amount of money. Can you guys name in order from number 1 to number 3 the top 3 donators?
People have given us some money.
Yeah.
Is Tom Bach on there?
Do you want me? That's not how this works. You have to
Tom
put
Bach's
1, 2,
number
3.
1.
Tom Bach number 1.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, I would feel it's Tom Bach, Snow Bike Mike.
I'm gonna throw DJ Kento out there. He's giving us a lot of money back,
Okay.
at least on Twitch. So if that's
Twitch
that's
and Patreon,
happening.
different things.
Yeah.
Debbie McCouga has not
Josh's
given us
mom,
that much money.
super hot, super hot. Exactly what you want a mom to be.
Wait, I'm sorry. Is your mom hot?
Is that wrong?
I mean, she's a good-looking woman for 68.
Was I wrong?
Throw up some photos.
Almost.
All right, let's get back on the rails.
Kevin doesn't even want to throw up photos of my mom. All right.
Salem, Ghanem.
Oh man,
He's
Good call.
giving us
Good
a lot.
pull.
He's
We
giving
love
us a
to.
lot.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mark Freeman probably giving us a lot over there.
I feel like
too.
Joycey's up there for sure.
Joyce is up there.
So I put
Paul
them in
Joyce,
top
who they're
5.
talking
Yeah,
about.
Paul Joyce.
Well, he knows. Everyone knows.
Do you want me to just tell you? Because you named a
Yeah,
lot
it'd
of
be
names
great.
here.
I don't want to be embarrassed.
The Platinum Prince, Josh Grav.
Number 1 is, of course, Tom Bach.
Yes. Tom
Nailed it.
Bach. Thank you.
Dumb man.
And real talk, shout out to Tom Bach. Somebody that is such an amazing human being. Been on Kinda Funny Gamescast before as an amazing contributor. Somebody
Puts
can
up with Kevin's bullshit.
talk about games, puts up with Kevin's bullshit about like scheduling and all that
You
stuff.
want to play PUBG?
Yeah, exactly. No, but real talk, Tom Bach is again another person that like I love talking to. One of
Oh
my
my god,
like-
Tom Bach's
like,
amazing. His
somebody that-
daughters are amazing. Everything's awesome.
Someone I go to lunch with anytime I can when he's in town. Like he's such a fucking great guy. But he also is. I think it's still in my Twitter bio. It might not be now because of character count,
height.
but like
You be cup height.
I took that out.
I think I said cup height. I'm drunk.
I am someone who supports people. And it's like, I like that. It's like you want to support the people that are doing things that you believe in. And Tom Bach is that in spades. He supports everyone on Patreon, man. He supports them to make this shit happen because he believes in it. And it's like, every time I talk to him, it's like, oh, it's not just us. It's us and Andy and What's Good Games and Jared and everyone.
Yeah, Tom's reached out through what I do. Also, he's given outside of this organization. Even it's extraordinary, and I cannot fathom the depth of generosity
Tom Bach is the
members
fucking
of this
man.
community have.
I mean, Jared, you're preaching to the choir. You know what I mean? Like, we came here today being like, guess what? Any dollar we make is good enough, but I don't know what we're going to make. And I don't know. The last check was what? We're $7,000 short of the goal of the month. And we're 10 hours in as we record this. You know what I mean? Like, that's insane. And it is because of the Tom Box, because of our number 2 supporter of all time, Snowbike Mike.
Number 2, really, Snowbike
Number
Mike.
3,
Is he really?
Paul Joyce.
Damn.
There you go.
And
There you
that's the
fucking
thing
go.
of like,
Our
Nailed it.
fucking guys, man.
and it's so ridiculous the amount of pushing I feel we all gave, but especially Big Kev Dog, to Snowbike Mike. Of like, are you filming these? No. Fucking film
Yeah, I
these.
don't know why he does
You
that.
are awesome at this. You need to do this.
And that's the worst thing of our careers is that people will never see the Snowbike Mike. I almost called them episodes. Things, the hangouts that he did with us. When I
They
got
were
the
great.
worst
Remember when he brought his
sunburn-
mom on? And his mom just sat there and was like, I hate this?
That's the thing.
It was
Is like
great.
every
It was great.
time
She
like,
hated it.
we
I don't see enough of the dogs.
we started a
that dog's so
hangout
cute.
with him, and he would just be like, "What's up, guys? Welcome to the show. We got the producer /
It's
producer.
one of
We
those things
got
you'll never understand because you weren't there. But it literally goes, all right, you guys ready? You guys ready? All right. What's up? And it's like, are you... What
Like,
the
what's
are
going
you
on?
editing?
Like,
I don't
get
understand.
nervous.
This
I get
is-
nervous. I'm like, I
Kevin
gotta
doesn't
perform
give
for
us
this
these
guy.
cuts for our
But
shows.
dude, the moment that I fell in love with him, like to the point that I'm like, you are talented. Like you're not just funny. You're not just like a supporter. You're talented. The umbrella is when I got the worst sunburn I ever got in my life.
God, right.
When we
Rooster
did
Teeth.
the Rooster Teeth.
I'll remember. You were bubbling
Let's
for
Play
weeks.
Live. Yeah, it was bad.
skin blistered.
And
It was
the next
gross.
time that we saw
Super gross.
saw him on Google Hangouts. He came through and he's like, Tim Gettys, let me tell you what. Let me run you through the sunblock things you need to know. Number 10. And he had 10 different things going down of different sunblock things you had to do to be able to shave, including a hat with an umbrella on it.
Yeah, smart.
And I'm like, you're the funniest human being.
So many of those.
And then later for Christmas, he had his mom on the episode.
Yeah, that's great. That was awesome. Man,
So if I can have the floor for 1 second. Of
course you may.
Of course, Snowbike Mike is in the chat. He says, Tom Bach supports me more than anyone would know and encourages me to reach my dream. And of course, he's responding to everything as it happens. Then he goes, TwitchCon 2015. I left the convention right after meeting the crew and pledged in my car driving back to Tahoe. I said I would support Kinda Funny because of what they do. I can't stress to you enough, everyone watching or listening to this now, live, later, whatever, that is what it's all about. This is what we're talking about when I ask you during January to support us, to give whatever you can to us, is that we have Joey and we have Andy and we have Barrett, and guess what? One day I would love to have Snowbike Mike, and I would love to have Blessing Jr., and I would love to have Roger Bricconi, and that's not the order we'll hire people in, and we'll do it as we figure it out and what we need to be. But this, Josh, you're really listening. This is a real sincere moment. The Gilly suit does not work.
4.0, nothing's changed.
You know, I saw that. I was like, let's see how this plays. Let's see how this
I
lies.
did too, of course. This is what I'm fucking talking about,
Yeah.
guys.
Look at
We
this
are not
madness.
building this for you. We are building this with you.
Maybe play.
I think I was talking to Jen yesterday, right? Where I mentioned Roger and the things he's editing. She's like, where did you ever find him? I'm like, oh, funny story. 4 years ago, this fucking 15-year-old podcasted about us and what we were doing and leaving, and I said, he's better than I am right now.
You want to know something funny, Greg? That I don't think you know, because we have been going into this in fucking rocket speed. Guess who made the logo for Kinda Funny Screencast?
I fucking hate Roger Bricconi. He's too
Roger
talented.
Bricconi.
He's talented.
He fucking did it, man.
That's the thing. I bring up Snowbike Mike because he's one of those people that. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? I can't see him. Oh shit! I saw the dad hat. I bring up Snowbike Mike because after the first few of those, and I heard he was streaming, I'm like, I believe in this guy. This is a guy that is a superstar, and he just hasn't hit yet. And I'm very happy that we have a system in place where we can help propel these people forward. People who want to do this and who, are talented and deserve a little bit more, a little bit of promotion from us. And we owe it to those people because they are our supporters and they're awesome. And that's the thing. Like, I'm happy that Snowbike Mike's out there. I want to meet his dog one day. I want to hang out with him more.
Dogs.
He's a great guy. Dogs.
Yeah.
I want to tell this other story real quick before we go. One of the other things that
Before we go, we're not signing off anytime soon. But I do
12 hours.
like Kevin puts up thing. We've hit 12 hours.
I'm just giving you an update.
What was that game over, Greggy, where I'm drunk and I'm screaming at the bridges? Is that
That was
episode?
actually
the Millions of Bridges
Extra Life
episode?
1, right?
Wait, wasn't that the anniversary?
Episode 1?
are there
Extra
millions
Life
of
1.
bridges?
That might be true.
I like that you have to lift
Yeah,
Gilly's
anniversary
season 3.
1.
Oh,
That's where you were just
was
dating.
Extra Life
You were
1.
just dating Gia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2
Extra
a.m.
Life
I
1.
was like, let's go, guys.
Where we at, Joey? Anything?
Oh my god.
Oh, hold on.
Oh god. Oh no.
That's too late.
Fuck off, John.
So we are at $44,000, which means that puts us $1,000 short of
Give me a
the
boost.
wrestling pay-per-view, which really, guys. I don't know anything about wrestling, but after everything that happened today, I have a vengeance and I need to have that expressed
bring it
somewhere
on, you
because
fucking
I
clown.
hate you. 1v1 versus we'll play two characters.
Oh my god.
I will train
can't
for this
wait.
harder than I've trained for anything in my entire life. I want to take Greg Miller down so bad.
Joey,
Outside
I
training.
will edit you the most hype intro video of all fucking
Do you know what I want to do though for real? I
time.
just want to get a chain link thing and shoot through it. It's
steel
a cage match.
I love it.
And all it is
Yo,
play games, but it's a cage.
If we get to $47,000,
45.
$45,000, we will literally do a fucking cage match.
Oh, that's the part of the pay-per-view. It's that. It's all Jared's all like, I've never competed. It's all the fucking part-timers doing the King of the Ring for whatever the fuck
good
they
with that.
want.
But I think this
Now,
movie-
for the record, before you say you're good with that, remember, these will be modern games. I'm not going to break out my Coleco vision for you to have the fucking chains.
This may surprise you, but I mostly play new video games. That's kind of what I play. But
Oh, hey, I'm playing poker in Red Dead.
pretty good at poker in Red Dead.
I'm sure you are.
Yeah, he's really good at poker. He took like $2 worth of quarters off me one time.
Yeah, it was pretty easy because you.
What's up, Jared? You have something nice to say.
No, just a moment. Yeah, and I apologize. This is y'all's hour, but I'm not going to get a better time in the show to say it than now. And this is my last chance to say it because this is the last time y'all are at this table. In addition to being your community is generous, but it's generous because you deserve it. And I hope that you know that. Sometimes people that do good things have a hard time accepting that they deserve what people choose to do for them. It's a lesson I've had trouble with in my life, and I think you guys have trouble with it too. You do good things. Twice at this table. Twice in my life at this table. You have changed things for me for the better. Twice on GameOverGreggy, you've brought me on to tell stories, and both times have been deeply influential for me. And I really appreciate that. It was at this table that you allowed me to bring up the topic of a new little podcast I wanted to do many, many years ago. And that was the beginning of Pockets and me creating things on my own years ago. That happened here, sitting in one of these spots. And likewise, you brought me in to tell a story about what happened in my life and changed. And it was cathartic and powerful. So I want y'all to know I appreciate that very, very much. And thank you for it.
Well, I mean, it's our pleasure. You know what I mean?
We love you, Jared.
I mean, above all else, what I'd like to say to in response is not that you're wrong, right? But the fact that if there's one thread of Kind of Funny that I think rings truer than the rest and makes more sense than the rest, it's not that we shine a light on people who deserve this, we do this, blah, blah. It's that we inspire people to be good. And that it is so easy on the internet to be a bad person and to be an asshole and to be oh my God, these SJWs, these fucking conservatives, yada, and scream at each other. And that's not what it's a fucking about. And that's what I talk about. You and I have had this conversation on Games Daily, right? Of like, that's not what this is about. That's not what any of this is about. And like, the way to get over this is to ignore the trolls. And I see them on our own subreddit. I sing a lot subreddit because that's the place I go to, right? Of course, my Twitter feed's curated of mute this, do this, blah, blah, blah. But like, it's time. I talked about it in 2018 in the final Kind of Funny Games Dailies. I'm talking about it right now. It's time for the silent majority to get off the bench. And what I mean by that is that not when you see the vocal minority being like, hey, fuck this person, fuck that person, fuck this opinion. It's not getting a fight with them. That's what they want. They want you to get in the mud with them. They want you to roll around in an endless thread of tweets about whatever the fuck they're talking about. It's to mute them and talk to the person you like and say, hey, not even in that thread, hey, this other person totally oblivious to this, created a video, a thing, or whatever I like, and I want to tell them that. And that's what this is about. And I hope, if anything, if Kind of Funny tomorrow goes away because Nick's been embezzling the money and we haven't been paying attention, this is all very true.
Definitely not smart enough for that. Let's put it this way. From me, that won't be the thing that takes the company down. That won't be the thing.
But that's the message to take away. Be better to each other and fucking take care of each other. And like, yes, there is an endless spigot that you can turn on at any point that pours out fucking pure garbage on the internet that you can get caught up in and argue with and do with, and you can see it on our Reddit, you can see it anywhere. Mute that person, move on with your life, engage with the threads you want, be done with it. It's over.
And to move from that, because you're absolutely right, but going back to Snowbike Mike, the fucking
that
man,
guy.
the myth, the legend, real talk. He is someone I aspire to be.
Oh,
Looking
dude, are you
him,
kidding me?
It's like, it's incredible to see what he has accomplished, and he is not alone.
He's better than us.
He is better than us. Real talk, he's better than us, and he is representative of what a lot of people, a lot of the best friends out there are. Like, they're doing the thing, man. To see the amount of people okay, let me take a step back. This table's bringing me back, right? 2015, 2016, of us sitting in that spare bedroom talking here at this, well, not here, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This table physically about what we want to do, and every time someone would write in like, how can I get in the games industry? How could I make YouTube videos?
Oh, they all from Kentucky? I didn't know that.
We're all just like,
man,
I
let's
mean,
go
we
get some
use
fried
we use the
chicken.
words, but it's like, do it, just do it, just do it, just do it. Here we are 4 years later, Kind of Funny 4.0. So many people did it. are doing it.
Are you fucking
Are
kidding me?
going to do it. But it's like, before that, they're doing it. Seeing Snow Mike and Tom Bach team up to do things is amazing. Let's look at our Kind of Funny live hosts. Let's name them one by one.
Troy Baker.
We've had Troy Baker. We've had Bernie Burns.
Yeah, good
founder
Xavier Woods
of Rooster Teeth. We've had Xavier Woods, aka Austin Creed of WWE fame.
The Rumble.
Do you think so, Cool Greg?
Hey man, why not?
Why the fuck not, dude? That
If
would
Xavier
be
Woods
amazing.
wins the Rumble, I'll be very excited. I'm not going to say anything crazy. I'm just going to be very happy.
Give up the belt, you coward.
And
I'll bet him for the belt shirt.
at Kind of Funny Prom, we had Snowbike Mike.
Now,
There's
here's the
nothing
thing.
that tells the Kind of Funny story better than that.
Can I full stop you for 1 second? Because, yes, I love Snowbike Mike. If you're listening or watching, I know you love Snowbike Mike. And if you have no idea who we're talking about, go find Snowbike Mike. Snowbike Mike, yes, is as good, if not better, at everything we do. But I feel like, not that in a negative way, you're putting him on a pedestal, right? Because I know
you're right.
in the exact same way, we all, in a good way, get put on the pedestal by our audience, right? And they think that, oh, well, Greg says it doesn't matter to him in this way. Of course, there's a comment every time. I know, we've talked to Snowbike Mike in bad times where it is getting to him, and it is this, and not in the negative, whatever. Snowbike Mike's down. But in the very same way we turn it on, he turns it on. And that's, I mean, you want to talk about, like, for me, with my relationship with Snowbike Mike, yep, it's the Patreon calls. Are you filming these? No, you're not? Oh my God. Okay, blah, blah. For me, it really starts at the end of RTX this year, where it was, you guys all went home, and he was still in town, and I was like, let's go to dinner. I've never gone out with you. I've never talked to you outside of an event, outside of the thing, right? And it was that, I'll never forget this. I climbed in my Uber to go to this place that one of the Rooster Teeth people was like, if you want chicken wings, this is the place to go. Got on this thing, and he's like, you're the second person in a row who wants to go get chicken wings. I was like, at this place, I'm like, oh really? He's like, yeah. The other guy was talking about how he's going out with this guy, and he doesn't really know him that well, and he like, hopefully he doesn't kill him. And I was like, was his name Mike? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, I'm the guy he thinks he's going to kill. And he's like, oh my God. Well, it
Wait,
was
Snowbike Mike's thought you were going to kill him?
Because I was like,
I totally buy
hey,
that.
go way outside of Austin where
Yeah.
you know to this cool chicken wing place.
Yeah.
But we got there, and and again, you want to talk about everybody listening or watching right now, you want to talk about this isn't best friend bullshit. It was like, don't get me wrong, we've known Snowbike Mike a long time, but it was the first time I was ever like, cool, here's my cell phone, here's this thing, let's go get dinner. And me and him hung out. And it was the first time not to at all insult Snowbike Mike, because it's very much the same way Greg is, of like, cool, I'm not on camera, this is how I talk. You know what I mean? In the same way, when I'm not on camera, this is how I talk. You know what I mean? And like, that's always the biggest thing I think people hanging out with me who know me from this are like, Colin used to talk about it, right? Of like, I know the real Greg, which for some people is like, what the fuck? This isn't the real Greg. And what I was talking about is like, this is the Greg I wish I was all the time. In the same way, I'm sure Snowbike Mike wishes he was that Snowbike Mike all the time. But when we get to sit there and have a beer and have a whole bunch of wings and sit there and talk, it's like, cool, we can be quiet. We can not do this. My throat's starting to go, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I agree.
You gotta love that. I mean, I had that moment with Andy, where it was like, when we hung out that one time that I was talking about with the fucking Moscow Mules, it was like, you know what? Hey, I'm gonna be real. I'm letting everything go. Like, you are Andy, I'm Tim. We're talking now, you know?
Dude,
that was
I had that same thing of like, you know what I mean? That was the thing. If you remember it, I went down there.
I'll never forget this.
I'll never, yeah, where it was like, I was going down alone for Kind of Funny, and it was the free play, whatever the fuck number it was.
Rooster Teeth. It was a Rooster Teeth shoot, and they were like, hey, we want Greg for a specific thing, but we're doing a shoot that we need someone to represent Kind of Funny.
And I was like, nobody else is coming. Nobody else
who
can
do you
come.
want at Rooster Teeth to represent you? And like, they gave us like options that we'd worked with before. Like, do you want Barbara? Do you want, you know?
And we're like,
And for the record, Barb sucks. We hate her. She's dead to us.
We fucking love all of them. But it was like,
fair,
jokingly, but like,
not even jokingly. It was
we
like,
meant it, but we're like, in a very kind of funny way. We're like, hey, Andy Cortez works there. We'd love for him to be part of the team.
I mean, Dave Cortez.
No.
Andy, what was that like for you?
No, let me get there because I'll pitch you to him. I'll pitch you to him.
1997.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I love Dan Cortez.
Dan Cortez.
That's the name.
Oh all 15 seconds of sports.
For the record, Josh McCouga, Andy Cortez did convince me for about 15 months of employment here that he was related to Dan Cortez. And I was like, holy shit, really? And then finally he's like,
Dan Cortez.
no, I'm not really. But to your point, it was, hey, come do this thing at Rooster Teeth, free play 500, yada yada, who do you want? And we were like, oh, well, like Andy makes our shirts, can you get him? And Andy always tells the story of Meg Turney walking into the gameplay room at the time that was not super connected to the rest of Rooster Teeth and being like, is there an Andy Cortez here? And everybody like, and Andy being like, I'm Andy, and like Greg Miller's request you, and he's like, all right, okay. And I'll never forget that. Like again, to the point of what this is, where you're a listener or you're a viewer, and maybe you never are ever in the Twitch fucking chat, you're never in the Patreon, you just enjoy the content, which thank you so much. I feel like I have the same relationship with everybody, whether you're Snowbike Mike, who I've hung out with, or I've never met you. If you say you know it, I'm like, I get it. Where I'll never, ever, ever forget going to the Free Play 500. Andy's there. Oh, hey, man, what's up? Hey, oh, cool. And then it was like, all right, we're going to this other hangar to film. Like, all right, cool. And I climbed to Andy's car, and we started driving. I turned to him like, is this weird for you? And he's like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was like, oh, fuck. He's like, I know you, and I know Meg. And he's like driving, and I'm like, oh, like, right. Like, I've known you forever as Maximum Cortez.
You did the bridge shirt.
Is that true, Andy? Did I fucking that up?
No, you're right. Yeah.
Right?
Dead on.
But like, that's the point of all of this.
What's amazing is how excited Andy was to meet you, and how when I met him, he was like, oh, hey. And that is the most excitement.
So not true.
That is the most excitement I've ever gotten.
No,
what I
did, I remember it was the meet and greet at Easy Tiger.
Yeah, RTX.
And it was very hot. It was very hot.
Oh my god, it was.
And I got Nick to do a peck dance for me. And the peck dance is still on Twitter. You can find it somewhere.
Sure you can.
It was about 4 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. And you moved those sweaty boobs in front of the camera,
Man,
and then you winked at it, and that was about it.
Not much has changed.
Yeah, it was just it was just really cool meeting you guys, and of course being at RT, being a fan of RT for so long, and being a fan of you guys for even longer, and knowing that I'm the small fish in this huge pond of all these cool internet celebrities that I've been following on Twitter forever. And then for Meg to walk in the room and ask for me, I was like, what is happening? Like I'm
fired.
Everybody
Why
looked
is
at me
Meg
like,
Turney fired?
why do they want you? And I was like, I don't know. And they're like, oh, they want Greg. I was like, oh, okay. And at that point, I had, I knew you guys enough, right?
Like you knew the secrets. Like it's funny because and again, I don't want to spoil shit because I want to talk about this on Kind of Funny Podcast episode 1. Stay tuned. But like so many people have been a part of what Kind of Funny 4.0 has been, in the same way that Andy really like. It's so funny because like I had a moment today as everything was going. We're doing the stream. We're raising money. We're doing all this stuff, and I'm like, we now have 8 people, and somehow it still feels as chaotic as it did when it was just 4 of us.
Are you fucking kidding me? When I walked in here on Wednesday was our first day back. It's so confusing for this week, and it was like I walked in and I had the conversation with Kevin on New Year's when we were all drunk. Of like, oh, he's like, oh, I'll clean it, Bear's desk, and I walked in and looked at the desk. I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, it's not like Baird will be the first person. So I started moving things, and then bing bong, it's Baird. I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, well, I'm your CEO cleaning your desk.
Congratulations. You have to help clean your desk.
And that's how it grows, though. It's like we didn't do that much then. And it's easy to look at it and be like, oh, we always did this. No, we didn't.
Before I forget, I know we're going to go a little long on this. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out with us.
No fucking surprise.
But I want to say this. If we were... I'm going to throw this out as a suggestion. We get to a natural stopping point, but I love the conversation, and you brought up a great point. We should continue this on the first. So episode 1 of the Kind of Funny Podcast should be called Part 2. Part 2 of the God Podcast.
Hilarious.
I want to start the first ever episode of Part 2.
I'm not going to do that just because it's
very confusing
jumping off point of episode 1 for new people that don't understand, or for people that have been waiting to come in. But like spiritually,
it's Part 2. It's going to be great.
No, but I want to thank a lot of people. But like in this episode, I want to give the shout out to Andy because I've been working with people like Roger or Alex Van Aken or people where I'm like, you've been community members forever.
Oh my God, yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Like, fucking ever. Literally since day 1 of Patreon of all that stuff.
Aaron Porter,
all these guys that like you've been making all this happen. But I called you up and I was just like, yo, you're just a dude that I've never talked to, but I'm going to trust you with all these secrets. That like literally you could just post on I guess Reddit wasn't. I mean, it was a thing, but like not kind of funny Reddit or like whatever.
It wasn't 20,000 subs.
But like they literally could have ruined anything. But it's like it reminds me of a time when I would call up Andy.
Dude, are you kidding me? For the record, to stop you, I'm sorry, to full stop you. The amount of times I've been in meet and greet drunk, where somebody's like, "What about this?" and I'm like, "Well, don't tell anybody." And I literally tell them something we're doing in 3 months. Not because I'm an idiot. I totally fucking believe the relationship
cool,
we
man.
have.
They're all cool. Just be
The
cool.
amount of people I told at that meet and greet, the Easy Tiger meet and greet at RTX 20, I think it was 15, about P.S. I love you XOXO that I should not have told.
Really, and I can just hear that
did.
conversation. Real talk, we're doing it, and it's called "P.S. I Love You XOXO."
And you want to hear the theme song?
Yeah.
It's fucking dope. It's so dope.
I want before I forget, I do want to give a shout out to Joey, who just walked back in the room. Perfect timing, right? Now when
Bat
we
it
were
overcooked.
there it is. When we were talking, when we were
She tried to stump on said that one.
There you go. So when we were growing the
Love you,
team
Joe.
originally, right? And we had Kevin, and we were talking about bringing Andy on, and we were talking about bringing on someone who could help us wrangle the community a little bit and basically be our spokesperson and our face to the community. And Joey's name came up, and we talked to her, and we interviewed her, and there was I don't think I ever told you this, but there was a sigh of relief that once we finished talking to her. Because I was like, finally, there's going to be an adult in this office. There's going to be someone who can like speak the language of an adult person, and it's going to be great. And it's been awesome having you, obviously, Joey, and having you have the perspective you have on everything. And we don't obviously we move a mile a minute, so we never actually stop to thank everyone, and everyone obviously does a great job here, and you're no exception. But to be able to deal with the stuff you deal with and let it just kind of run off your back, and all the shit that Greg and I give you, it's really a testament to how wonderful you are. So
I don't give a
love you.
Joey shit. I just scare her. That's the difference.
I mean,
You just, as she walked in, said she's terrible at Overcooked. You did
Well,
say
I mean,
that.
that's on the record. I can't help you. You know what I mean?
You know what?
It's
Greg
an empirical
Miller?
fact, but the way you say
guess
it
what,
is...
motherfucker? We hit 45K, so you have to put your money where your mouth is.
Noel!
We hit 45K.
Okay, not only did we not hit 45K, we hit 46K.
Whoa! Look at it go.
shit.
Good job on
Oh
the
my
thing.
god.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're anybody watching not live or live, who the fuck cares anymore? Go to patreon.com/kindafunny or patreon.com/kindafunnygames. All the month of January, we are raising funds
Holy shit.
for the fundraiser to make
We're gonna do
crazy shit happen. Our goal that we thought was impossible was 50K. We are now less than 5K away from it, which will
Can
bring
you
us to
give
New York.
me a rest? Please?
No.
My
rest for the
holiday break was me fucking planning these
Cry me a
shows. What's
fucking
the
river.
order? Calling all these people, doing all these things, editing the videos, whatever.
should've
And
put us
y'all
ours.
fucking selfish assholes are gonna be out there like, I guess we're
He
gonna
doesn't speak
donate
for us. He doesn't speak for us.
even more money. We're gonna make them do all these things.
This is a weird voice, but I like
is it?
characters.
What is the
you
voice?
never do characters.
Sound like the ugly
The voice you're doing?
Tim Ragnar.
Ugly Joker. That does sound right.
Baby, that's the voice of Tim Ragnarok. Maybe
No,
you don't
that is
understand
not. I've
that is
met
not
Tim
the Tim
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok voice.
Let Tim be Ragnarok. Why don't you let him expand?
Oh my god, I can't wait for this pay per view.
Spread his open wings.
I've never, I don't think
I
I've
want you to
ever
know
worked
tomorrow I'm
harder.
gonna wake up, do this, call Jared Petty, be like, debatable, you got to figure it out, hang up on him, and then just fucking start planning a pay per
No,
view.
we're 10 o'clock Sunday. We set that time.
Did we? Oh right, because it's before that we do the other thing. We're doing the other thing at 11 o'clock Sunday. Is that happening?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Somebody tell Jen. Is Jen still here?
I don't know.
If she's not, give me more beer.
I'll sneak it.
Cannonball. Cannonball.
Thanks, Joe. We love you.
But I love you guys too, and it's really fun to work here.
I'm glad.
Joey,
I'm glad.
don't leave, all right? I know what's good has John Drake, but don't leave us for that.
Listen, I think I fucked over any chance of what's good earlier, so.
Good job.
Funhouse, if
Hey,
you're around,
guys.
let me know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Kevin Coelho from kindafunny.com. Also, the Kinda Funny screencast has something to say.
Quick production question. Did you say this GOG was getting posted tomorrow?
Yes.
What?
Wait, this GOG is getting posted tomorrow?
Sure, but tomorrow's 24 hours of whenever. Is that bad?
If not 48 hours.
I mean, we just...
It's getting late. That's what
Cool
Kevin's
Greg said it
alluding
was
to.
possible. If it's not, that's totally okay.
You tell me
This
Cool Greg-
episode
Right
can
now,
post.
I have
Cookie
2
doesn't know how
hard
to lie.
drives with 12 hours and 16 minutes of footage that needs to get like put onto a computer and ingested.
Here's the thing, Kev.
Yo.
Real talk. Kind of Funny Podcast, episode 1 goes up to Patreon patreon.com/kindoffunny supporters on Tuesday. As long as it goes up before then, that's when it goes up.
Okay.
No one will hold you to it. Yeah.
Okay.
Remember, if anybody's gonna get cranky about it on the internet, you can say, "Hey, there's a Twitch archive."
Yeah.
So many people are like, "Oh man, is this?" And it's like, "Well, there's
So
Twitch."
That's going to be the one right there. That's the one. You know what I mean? When you wake up tomorrow morning, you go, God, I feel like shit. I want you to
I'll
remember
tell
that
you what,
one.
man. Here's
That's the one.
If you want a God's honest, lines tooth truth from Greg Miller, what happened is I started drinking wine and bourbon and doing this, cartwheels in the street. I'm gonna do.
You're going to
When
smell
I drink
terrible
beer,
tomorrow.
no problem.
Really?
Everything else, that's when I wake up and die. After the holiday party at Coxcomb, amazing dinner. Jared Petty ate like $150 worth of steak. Amazing. It was like
Legend.
literally, I was dying and throwing up wine forever. It was gross. It was bad. It was like if I threw up the up into a bottle, somebody'd be like, "Nice vintage."
It is the first time I've
Get on the mic. Get on the mic. Get on the mic.
Sorry.
It is the first and only time I've ever seen you like miss a meeting. Like we had made an appointment the night before, and then you just didn't respond.
No,
to
that's not
messages
100% true.
For several hours, and that is
At like 12:30 in the morning, Jared's like, "So do you want to do a meeting on Sunday?" I was like, yes, I do. And so Jared texts me.
My face is melting. Is my face melting?
Sugar and water.
More.
And Jared was like, "Hey, so are we still in for that meeting on Sunday?" I was like, "I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about."
Go get fucked is what is the answer to that question. Jared.
Debatable will never be a show.
Solid move.
Yeah. It's the only
God, I
time
love
I've
it.
ever seen you miss anything like that. It's
Josh
amazing.
Makuga, here's a
dudes.
question for you.
What? Go talk to me.
How solid is your marriage? Do you think it's going to fall apart and you can move up here soon?
No, I mean, my
Do we
wife's
need
my
to
everything.
put a Patreon goal to get you divorced and move up here soon?
Does your wife like San Francisco? That's a better question.
I will say this.
Oh
my,
shit, that's a good way to play
Probably
it.
should have started.
Better way to
there.
play it. Better
more
way to play
interesting
it.
way to play it is that my in-laws lived a short hour from here,
San Jose, right?
and my wife loves the Northern California area, and my brother lives about 20 minutes from here.
Yo, here's some
And
real
I
talk.
love my-
Here's
my
some
brother
real
and I are
talk.
best
I'm not
friends,
trying to invite more people to the thing.
Sure.
Can I do it though?
Sure, whenever you want.
Tomorrow night, me and Gia are trying to go to dinner with Josh Makuga and
The Mrs.
the
Magoo.
Mrs. Makuga.
Oh, she-
Wait, where?
Somewhere down in the peninsula, if you guys would like to join.
What the fuck? I'm offended.
No, what?
I'm right here. I'm the reason you're
Here's
here.
the
I'm the
crazy
fucking
thing.
kind of funny champion.
God, you're so white.
Uh-oh. Here it goes. Oh, it's happening.
Wear it like a bra.
It's happening. Oh, it's
Where?
coming up.
What? Like? Oh,
But he has to button it off one by one. Hold on. Show the people. Turn around though. Show them you do the button thing though. You know.
I like that. It's like a slow play.
There we go. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. You're a beautiful man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
those
you're
little
jacked,
nips.
buddy.
They're so red.
If you're an audio listener, everyone's shirtless.
Everyone.
One person has a lot of back hair. Somebody has no back hair.
Greg has a lot of back hair.
Okay, first.
Kind of
wait,
has a lot.
oh, I have a lot
Extra
of back
life.
hair.
No back hair, and I have.
What? I have a lot of back hair. Look at the angel wings. Look at the angel wings.
Dude, my back hair is extremely
Christ.
upsetting. It's real brutal.
Oh, anyways, again, I'm offended that your wife's coming up to the peninsula. Shut up, Kevin. That's what happened.
What I want to get going is like a kind of funny like lady friends thing to like make fun of us. On a
We
certain
call it the kind of honeys.
kind of
and
honeys,
it's a thing that
which I
exists.
just found out about.
Can Amanda? Right? It's Amanda.
Amanda, yeah,
Amanda needs to be a kind of honey. I don't know how to make
Yeah.
this happen.
Now,
She
can I
could.
bring you up to speed?
talk to me.
The Elena Scarpino call-in during the Josh Pretty episode came from me saying, you know what? I should reach out to Amanda Makuga for a call-in during Debatable. And I never did it. I was like, I don't need to. Jen, I thought you left.
Hanging out.
Why are you making out?
Well, no one's making out yet, but we're just getting close.
Are you really gonna ask
Jen,
why?
Jen, hold on. Here's the question.
Have you not wanted to make out with Nick?
Get on the thing. Get on the shock mic.
Will you touch the nips together?
Before we do that, before you invite him into this kind of close thing, I want you to know that apparently Gia and Tim invited to a Makuga party tomorrow on the peninsula we weren't invited to.
Well, too
Well,
bad.
I
invited. That's like
No, it's not that nobody was invited. Everybody's always.
don't
Oh,
have
not
invited.
nobody. I don't give a shit about everybody. I'm talking about me and Jen.
Babe. It's okay.
What's that?
We don't have to go. It's okay.
No, we do because I made it happen.
there's
I
so
made
much
it happen.
misreading of this situation.
Well, here's
Have you ever seen Cruel Intentions? This is Cruel Intentions 3.
I don't think that's
there
how
a
the
two?
plot happened.
Well,
Like,
I don't know. I like to be safe.
the Makugas love the Gettys because
Thank you.
they love Bachelor. So
Hey,
Gia
debuting
and-
this Monday, baby. Now that all this
Time out,
fucking
the
kind of
Gia
funny
and
hype
Amanda
is
both,
over,
like,
it's
kinda
Bachelor
like
Gettys
Gettys
time.
don't
the
love
same-
The Bachelor.
That's Tim Gettys.
The same kind of a thing.
Cool Greg bullshit. You love
The big
Bachelor.
divide between
I
the
love
Gettys
you.
is that Tim loves The Bachelor and
Thank
Cool Greg
you.
loves Iggy Azalea.
Y'all gotta
shit.
put respect to my last name. Y'all fucking around right now.
If you're a longtime watcher of this 12-hour stream, when I said that, hey, you know what? I won't. When I won the wheel, tweet for somebody, and it was tweet for Cool Greg. The tweet was, period, at Iggy Azalea, greater than symbol Hove.
Yeah.
And I deleted it.
Yeah.
Because I can't do that to Cool Greg.
No, honestly, you're
deleted
such a
Twitter.
good person for doing that.
The most honest conversation I've had with Cool Greg, aka Cool Guy Greg, is about the level of greatness of the Jay-Z albums. And I was about
Did you
to
start the conversation? Or did
No, he told me, and then he showed me a couple things, like concerts he's been to, and I was like, I get it, Cool Guy Greg, like you're great at all this kind of thing. But let's be honest, I mean, there's nothing better than the Black Album.
I mean, hey.
Vanessa Carlton?
We're in a good place
I
right
see
at this
a
table.
red door and
Black
I
Album,
want
baby.
it painted black. Oh, it is great. It's way better than the Stones. Way better
Fuck
than the
that.
Stones.
Fuck you. Twist Metal Black. David Jaffe. May him never
Do you want to
die.
hear the funniest album story, though? When I first met my wife, we went out to dinner with Natalie Imbruglia.
What?
I don't know what that is.
And
that
she
Pokemon?
Torn. I'm all out of faith. This is how I
we go
feel. I'm torn and I'm ashamed. Lying naked on the floor. You don't remember the song?
No.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot and I hate you. Jared
this
smashed
wheel-
his phone.
So when I first met Natalie Imbruglia for the first time, I was
On
like,
your first date, you met Natalie Imbruglia.
Let me ask you this question. Segue. Do you get Natalie Imbruglia and Fiona Apple confused ever?
No.
no, because Natalie
entirely
Imbruglia
different
is-
vibes.
Natalie Imbruglia is positive.
And that, isn't that Fiona Apple?
No,
that's
Fiona
James
Apple
Blunt.
is Fiona Apple's like, I'll kill you in your apartment, I'll burn your apartment down.
I love that.
You know, that's kind of like what
No, I can picture the music video. I can't picture the song, but yeah.
it's kind of like. I wanna feel it, let's burn to the floor. Like that,
Somebody in the chat. I'm looking at the chat. Actually, Gia, you'll know this. Fiona Apple, give me a few for lyrics. Lyrics of Fiona Apple.
You've been a bad girl.
No, Gia's
You've
gonna get
been
it to
a
us.
bad girl.
Who's the one that's like, yeah, beautiful?
That's James Blunt.
James Blunt.
No,
it's a
not. It's a
man.
woman.
No, you're thinking of Tracy Chapman and or
You
no,
got a
Macy
fast
Gray.
car. I
Macy-
want
He got a fast car. I don't want to drive it.
Jared, for the record, Benjamin65 says, alert, we have a wandering Tim.
Oh, we have one. We have a wandering Tim. Stage 5 is complete.
Stage 5.
It's time to call an Uber. Time to call an Uber.
Gia doesn't want to call an Uber. She wants to hang.
Gia,
the
sit
fuck out.
here. Come on, get on the show.
Gia, get the hell in. Okay.
You sit there. I got the better Tim and I got the better Nick. Everything's
Oh,
awesome.
look at that. It's all improved.
Gia, I've known
knows
you
that I'm
a
the better
long
Kevin
time.
Feige.
Screw yeah, grab that thing and turn it the other. Hold that one, and there you go. There you go.
Gia, have you checked out this flow chart of Tim's drunkenness yet?
We're not talking about that now. I
Incredibly
love you so much. You
accurate.
feeling better?
Yeah, I'm feeling better.
All right, great.
Love you.
Well,
Gia,
Andy,
when I
migraines.
think of the definitive Gia story,
Okay.
and I've known a lot of Gia stories. Obviously, I've been
Sure.
around for this relationship
Sure.
literally since the start. I was there when it
I
started.
met you the night I met Tim, actually.
No recollection of you. Even the next morning when Tim was like, "I know this girl now," I'm like, "I don't know."
To be fair, I didn't remember you either.
Fair.
I remember
Totally.
Nick because he talked.
Hey,
at
I ate
length-
a hot dog out of the bun next to these two women. Like, what are you doing? You ever heard the story?
Jesus, this is terrible.
It's-
It starts
They
real
met
bad
at
for
50.
you.
Tim. So Tim was like, "Hey, Nick and Greg, I'm gonna go see 50 Shades of Grey tonight with 15 of my female friends. Do you guys want to come?" And like, Nick's already married. I don't think I'm single, but I was like, "Yeah, we all want to come. This will be fun."
Sure,
And so we
sounds
went there.
awesome.
They're all drinking wine. It's great. And like, but it was literally like me and Tim in the front row, surrounded by women, and then Nick was in the back, like
The farthest
15
back.
rows back, all by himself, eating a hot dog next to two women, two of them on a date, eating the hot dog out of the bun, but
No
not
bun.
eating the bun.
No bun.
You know what I mean? Because
Oh,
I
Nick's
told
great.
that story
Cars.
to my parents on my way home from the.
cars.
He made it very
Birthday
clear
thing.
that there was no
still,
bun.
what I was driving at, Gia Tap Harris,
Yes.
is that the story when I think of you and Tim and what you put up with, I don't know if I've apologized to you tonight. I've been trying to apologize to all the significant others for what Kind of Funny does to the relationships and everything else. When I think of you guys, it is the same bridge episode of the GameOverGreggy show where it was, I remember, I don't think you guys were full blown, we're in love, this is the rest of our lives, yada yada, like you are now. But it was the idea that this podcast kept fucking going. And it was the podcast where Kevin was begging us to stop. And eventually you came up into the house and we put you on the podcast and we did this whole thing.
The Squarespace ad.
Yeah, that's the one.
The Squarespace ad.
That definitely was it.
10 tries, 15 tries.
Because I was going to throw people off bridges, yeah.
It was hours.
But Squarespace is still sponsoring, I think, sometimes.
I haven't heard of it.
But what I want to say, of course, is that you've been there since the start. Thank you so much.
No, I don't.
You don't need the beer for sure.
Okay, I guess
None of us
maybe.
need the beer. That's a camera. Like, they saw you not drink it. You know what I mean? If you're a man, come take a knee in front of it and drink all of it.
If it was like a real cup, I would have, but like...
Take a knee and drink
Is
it all
it
of it.
not Tim's fault that the fact that LaCroix owns this place, or no?
It's not.
Well, I don't ever get credit for anything.
But did
If you're
you guys
really,
not-
if you're really going to give me credit, it's bringing LaCroix into this.
It's true as well.
Yeah,
It's true as well.
credit and blame. I know
And
not
pop
every.
chips. Mainly, I want to give you
Yeah.
the pop chips credit.
I mean, pop chips change your life. That's
Who
the greatest
doesn't
chip of
love
all time.
Pop chips.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is, I do want to thank you for putting up with all this. And I know
Yeah.
that sounds stupid. And
I was
know that
just
you're
there to be like the designated driver for Drunk Tim.
Sure, but
I
gone
waited outside in the car for a while.
The
Eventually
thing
had
I think the audience,
summoned
the
in.
best friends don't get is the fact of what this takes out of us. And obviously you get it, worse than anybody with Tim.
Mm-hmm.
Tim and I are the guys who go home and think about it and worry about it and do these different things. But it was, I'm not good at balancing, period. And so leaving work this holiday break, going home to Jen and just being Jen's was so great. And we're just going to go to breakfast and we're just going to do this. And what are we going to do? And I want to play games and doing all the things I want to do and she want to do.
Puzzles,
It was amazing.
Jenga,
Exactly, exactly.
Say muscles.
Puzzles, muscles.
We do muscles here and there.
Mussels
She's
sound
French.
good with a little chorizo.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
or
Yeah, of course.
something?
Come on over.
nothing
You know
like
how to do
little-
it.
Mole frite? What do
But
you call it?
it wasn't.
Mousse Satan.
I haven't had a mashup of because Jen. This is the first time Jen and I have been alone on a holiday where it's just us. I haven't had a
There
mashup.
wasn't even a thought of flying.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah,
We talked
exactly.
about it. It's
yeah,
awesome.
of course. It's
That was
amazing.
awesome.
But we've never done that together where it then mashed up with work. And so literally the morning, it's Friday now. So when we came back here on Wednesday, I woke up and she I think made me breakfast and we're sitting there and she's like, "You're thinking about work, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I have this, that." And it was like, oh, like I get it. Like I understand. And like for me personally, like I can't thank you enough for what you sacrificed for this company. Because I know the way Tim works and
Yeah.
the way that he comes home and
Kind of honeys.
like Tim wakes up later and he'll edit this and he'll stay up late and like it's
Yeah.
the sliding scale, right? That he'll edit till 2 a.m. and then I'll talk to him like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And he's like, "Dude, went to bed at 4 a.m., woke up at 10. I'm great." And I'm like, this doesn't like how I want it.
It's been a little. There's been some unhealthy habits. I think this quarter, I would say. I think
100%.
a lot of late nights. The week that you got to spend with Jen, Tim worked that entire week. I mean,
Yeah, no, and that's the
I
thing.
mean, he
is, like,
slept. He did sleep till 3 p.m., but he was up till 3 a.m. His hours were crazy.
Right.
But I mean, Tim and I, as you said, like we've been together 4 years.
But don't you
We've-
think? But don't you think like when you go to bed, the Mister gets like into his thing where he goes
Yeah.
against it, and you're sleeping and he's going about it. Because I know Amanda always wakes
Exactly.
up at like 3 or 4 in the morning and she looks at me and I'm typing.
Yeah.
Because she hears like, tick, 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 tick. And that's me just working on something because the work I get done between 1 and 5
Yep.
in the morning is the best work I get done in my day.
Yeah, and I think that's true for Tim too. And I would say like we've had growing pains through like some of the more chaotic seasons of Kind of Funny with
Sure.
especially the Kind of Funny live
Sure.
seasons
Sure, of course.
where we've had to figure out like really sort of categorically prioritizing date nights and that stuff. But I mean,
But that's an important thing in a relationship.
100%.
crucial.
100%.
And like Tim
The date
is
night
nothing.
thing is very important.
Yeah, I mean, and Tim has been nothing but like proactive about that. So for me, it's like, yeah, he has worked his ass off. He's destroyed his body. He's been like up crazy nights. You know, I wake up and our floor is covered in Starbucks and LaCroix and all of these like scary drinks. Like,
damn LaCroix
like
thing.
It's nuts. But I do think he's never kind of like waned on making sure like we have dinner together.
Has there
or
been a point
we
in-
get
in your tenure together as lovers, and you could answer this too,
Sure.
as of like a point of a kind of funny thing where you're like, maybe this isn't the best use of your time, or I think what you're doing is gorgeous.
It's definitely been a learning experience because I am not a procrastinator and Tim is definitely
I'm the
a
epitome of
procrastinator. And
procrastination,
it
so I
fucking
get
it
it.
drives me up the wall to see him be like, you know, I'm just gonna shower. I'm just gonna like do lawn, like all these things to
Avoid it.
avoid the work. So yeah, for sure. I'm like, this is not the best use of your time. I know what your deadlines are. I know what you're standing up against.
Yeah.
And it makes me want to pull my hair out and his hair out, actually.
He doesn't have any hair on the sides. So it's
I
like-
know.
That's why I shaved it
I got a
off.
haircut. My
Yeah, you
person
shaved-
told me I had good hair. So.
Sick hair.
Okay. All right.
You're not going to lose your hair.
That's what I keep telling him. He's worried.
Well, Gia,
It's tight.
Yeah.
Jen,
'Cause
Paula,
look at us.
D. Thank you.
That's why I look good in
I
a
shouldn't
hat.
say that. What? No, I know. And yes, John Drake. I was pointing it out that you stopped me. Thank you to everybody who makes all the significant others who make Kind of Funny happen. I know that we rob you of times.
Real talk, Greg, I have to stop because it's important. Look at the emotes.
The emotes in the chat right now are all 11:45.
That's apropos.
It's a rare time you get the 11:45.
The other way.
Yes, we currently have been going. We said we'd do for 12 hours. It is now currently beyond that. We have been live. Thank you very much. Jonathan Dornbush now gets a quarter from you, Jared.
No problem.
We've been beyond the 12-hour mark for 45 minutes. So let's end this Game Over Greggy show. Thank you, Gia, for your help and support.
Now, do you want to end by signing this thing?
Sure, that sounds great.
How's that sound?
You got a marker?
Yeah, right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, this is the final Game Over Greggy show. You can go to patreon.com/kindoffunny or patreon.com/kindoffunnygames if you want to support us, Kind of Funny. We are, for the entire month of January, raising money to support Kind of Funny's future, a future space, a future employee, everything else along those lines. And we are also right now auctioning off this original Game Over Greggy sign, which has been signed on the back of the Game Over Greggy sign by Babs Tarr, Harley, Shuhei Yoshida, Mike Biffle, and a million other names. So now we are going to sign it.
Someone started saying these guys quit their jobs for this? Question mark.
You guys didn't quit. You were fired.
These guys quit their job for this. Heart, all of you. And then a crazy signature, we'll say Troy Baker.
Yeah, it's probably Troy.
That sounds like a Troy Baker thing.
It does.
That also looks like a Troy Baker.
Of course, you
signature.
can go right now, similar to this auction. Oh no, it's already, the auctions are closed, right? So we already have winners. I was gonna say you
Joey's
can go
about to announce the winners.
No, it's fine. Well, let's finish the show and then Joey can announce everything, right? Right?
Yes.
Well, you can sit there, Joey. I was gonna kick you out.
We should finish it out.
Let's sign off. We'll finish it out and we'll go.
Yeah. Can you put this in front of the thing again? I got it. Did we ever figure out the episode number either?
263.
263.
The game is finally over.
266.
Thanks, Makuga, for fucking that up. That wasn't even the number. You saw 266.
You guys already autographed it?
Yeah,
We did.
but leave it there. Ladies and gentlemen, for the last 266 episodes, you've let us be a part of your life. Thank you. I don't know, I'm crying. Nothing's ending. I have to be here next week. In a week, I'm already going to
You're
film a
gonna
bunch
here
of other
on Sunday.
shit and try to make Kind of
You're
Funny.
back in one
In
day.
24 hours, you gotta be here.
Oh my God. But yes, of course, this is the end of the Game Over Greggy show. If you didn't know, this has been the Game Over Greggy show for the past 263 weeks. or something like that. We've been at this table.
Oh, you fucked me up, man.
I know. I'm sorry. It's going to be bad. I'm out of it. Fine. Each bringing a random topic discussion for amusement. If you like that. Now I'm just
you're just dying now.
Go over to patreon.com/kindafunny. There's a bunch of new perks. There's a bunch of new subscriptions. We have a bunch of new shows that you can enjoy. Of course, the Kinda Funny podcast is that. If you are an audio listener, you'll continue to get that. We're just changing the show over to that. The Kinda Funny podcast, of course, is the most core Kinda Funny content you can get. It's all of us plus Andy Cortez talking about our lives. No guests. If you want guests, you can now, thanks to your support on Patreon, go over and get We Have Cool Friends, the interview show that's all about interviewing our cool friends and doing that sort of stuff. Nothing's changing, nothing's different. It's just that thing of like, man, at the end of a now 12-hour plus stream, thank you so much for your support. We love you so much. If you love what we do, if you love the GameOverGreggy show, if you're excited about the Kinda Funny podcast or anything else we're going to do, please head over to patreon.com/kindafunny or patreon.com/kindafunnygames, where of course you can get all of the shows on one feed. And until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.